things imported into the United States as a camera have to only be able to record or view for 29 minutes and 59 seconds.
That's what?
By federal regulation. Here's why. Because if you can record for longer than that, it's not a camera.
What is it?
It's a camcorder.
Okay.
And because of some stupid law from the
Semantics.
80s to try to boycott Japan's dominance of the market of camcorders, they're like, no, you can't record longer than 29 minutes and 59 seconds.
All right, we have a lot of weird laws like that, though. That's the reason why you can't have mixed fruit in your yogurt. No, that's an actual. You can't mix things in dairy products. That's an actual law.
I do
And
feel like
that's
we
why-
should start this off by pointing out, I'm not going to say where, but you work as a grocery store manager.
Yeah.
So, like, when people are like, how does he know about random yogurt fruit regulations?
But that's why whenever you buy yogurt with fruit, it's always layered on bottom or top. It's never mixed in because they came to the regulatory authorities
You're
because they're
making
like,
this up.
hey, no one's buying just plain yogurt. It's nasty. Can we? It's like cause they can't mix fruit into it, so they're like, what if we just layer it on top? We're not
Okay, but-
mixing it. And they said, okay.
But why can't, like, is there a reasoning behind it? Like, is it because of,
do
like,
not know.
contamination? Well, no, it's not contamination because it's still in there. It's just on the bottom.
Yeah,
Hey,
it's just they
can I
didn't
make
want
a
to mix it with
suggestion?
dairy. I don't
Yes.
Let's hit record.
No, it's been recorded.
Oh, it's been recorded.
No, that's what I said. Like, hey, guys, I hit record, like,
Yeah.
just, like, while it's doing its thing. And that way, everybody, it's not like a hard...
Well, let's start it officially, and we'll pick up where we.
Yes, yeah. So you know, this being red means this is recording for
Gotcha,
audio.
gotcha.
And then on there, you'll see it says record on the bottom
Okay.
screen.
I'm about to say I can't see that through two bottles. But,
No, yeah, that's fine. No, I was telling him. So if you ever look over here and this is yellow or green, I have messed up.
Okay, that's good to know.
No, yeah.
An hour and a half
3 hours
in, and
later.
you're
No, we
down.
did that. We actually talked so long. We filled this one up last time, and I was like, "Oh my god, I lost." We only lost like the last minute or two of our conversation.
We had the audio though.
We have the video with that audio, so we'll have to play around with it. We'll have to see what you can do with it. We were kind of drunk.
But like again, with Spotify, that audio is fine.
Yeah.
Probably.
Yeah.
Probably. All right, so everybody, welcome to another little fun. Probably. Wait, can we do that again, but in front of our guests? Because that way we can get all three glasses. Little.
Why don't you go wide?
That's
Nice.
way too much work.
Sounds good.
Can't you set? You said it yourself. You can just set up a button press.
Yeah, that's way too much work for this.
Okay, we are talking about mixed fruit and yogurt. Apparently,
Yeah, I don't know why you can't legally mix it, but they said you can layer it.
This is gonna sound really weird.
That's also
This
why
is
like
not a-
Chobani does the cups where you can just.
This is not a dairy podcast, but it's,
it's whatever we talk about. Podcast.
is that why you can't get cottage? Like, I despise cottage cheese with stuff in it. I'm a purist. I will eat a tub of cottage
That's
cheese
why
with
the
cracked
cottage
pepper.
cheese you get at the store has the stuff above the lid.
That's why you can't
You
mix it
can't
together.
mix dairy products.
So how do you make strawberry milk? Boom.
You put cracked pepper on your cottage cheese?
Oh my God, yes.
Cottage cheese is nasty to begin with. I don't even eat it.
it's not.
No. Oh my God, that's like the greatest thing ever.
No,
good.
it's curdled milk.
My
Delicious curdled milk.
my wife will she'll like she eats yogurt. I can't. That's
It has
That's
to be
my
full sugar
kryptonite.
yogurt. Greek yogurt just tastes like sour cream.
no, my kryptonite is yogurt.
Yeah,
I worked on an ambulance, I worked on an ER. I've had every fluid known to man on me at some point. I cannot do yogurt. I can't stand the smell.
Oh, you can't. You don't like yogurt.
No.
What about sour cream?
I'm good with it. Sour cream, 100%.
Sour cream and
Put it on my
Greek yogurt,
tacos.
again.
Ranch, all of that.
tomato.
My wife once made the mistake of telling me when I was eating, what are those little the little like pita bread
The
with the shaved meat?
gyro?
Gyros. I was going to say gyro. It's not it. Gyros.
I have no. Oh,
It's,
I'm
it's
good.
the Greek
Oh.
stuff.
Yeah, the Greek
With the
sandwich.
lamb.
Yeah. Yes, you have. It's like a pita
He's
bread
talking about tzatziki.
with the tzatziki
Made with
sauce.
yogurt.
See, and I didn't know that.
Okay.
And my wife messed up because she said
Oh, she told you.
she told me. I was like, we were at the pub one night and we're having the
oh yeah.
right because they had them all the
Yeah.
time. And I was like, oh my God. I was like, I love this.
That burger
and she's
was
like,
fantastic.
yeah, it was good. And she's like, what's so good about it? And I said, I don't know why. It's like, but this like dill sauce because it has dill in it.
Yeah.
I was like, this dill sauce is awesome. Do you think we could make this? And I was like, I wonder what's in it. Because I'm thinking in my mind, it tastes like sour cream because it has dill. And I was like, hey, can we make this at home? So I'm telling my wife, like, get the recipe. And she's like, we have everything at home already. I'm like, well, what is it? She's like, it's just Greek yogurt and dill. And oh my God.
Wait,
my
wait.
question is,
You
you can-
mix Greek yogurt with
And dill.
With
dill?
dill.
That's the whole thing with like
It's
Greek
tzatziki
food,
sauce.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's
They,
so good.
They make yogurt with like everything. But my question is, if it's Greek yogurt, have you tried subbing it with sour cream?
I can't, because now when I look at tzatziki sauce, all I can
But
picture
if
is
you're
yogurt.
making it yourself,
I don't know why, guys. It's not like I was like half drowned in a vat of yogurt at some point in my life, and I'm like terrified of it.
I understand your qualms, but my question is, if you
My whams?
if you're making it
Why are you
yourself,
saying whams that way?
whore. My question is, make it yourself and put in sour cream instead of yogurt.
I mean, I could try it,
Yeah, I'm just, again, you're just gonna taste dill mostly anyway.
probably. What are your feelings on on yogurt?
I enjoy yogurt,
Yogurt's
but
great.
I would not mix it with dill.
And you like cottage cheese, so we're at least in the cottage cheese side.
I like cottage cheese. I like buttermilk.
Honestly, y'all's arguments aren't valid. Y'all like cottage cheese.
Oh, no.
Cottage cheese is awesome. dude.
Nasty.
You can put it on so many things.
Hold on,
You can
small
make
curd
ice
or
cream
large-
out of it.
Large curd.
Huh?
Small
Either.
curd or large curd.
Matter.
Either. I prefer small because like you get more like on the spoons easier.
I'll make a little opportunity with my curds.
I legitimately know a recipe for making ice cream with it, and I'm telling you what, you cannot tell the difference. So when I was doing the keto diet, I was like,
Okay.
like I'm not gonna have ice cream. You put it in the blender, you blend it up, and you do all the stuff with it.
I'm not saying
it tastes
you're
like ice
lying to
cream.
me, but if you hand me ice cream and I'm halfway through and you tell me it's made with cottage cheese, I'm throwing hands.
You're gonna,
Is it like that Chris Farley? You ever see that Chris Farley on SNL where they're like, how would you like it if I told you that this wasn't real coffee? It was like whatever crystals or whatever he gets. Have you not seen that?
no.
Oh, you
it's
probably-
like instant coffee or something.
Yeah, it's like, what if I told you this was instant coffee? And he like gets angry and like starts choking the employees and everything. Y'all have not seen this?
No.
No.
I forget. Y'all are kids. This is
Well, no,
like
I love
90s.
Chris
You
Farley.
see the gray?
Yeah.
Yeah,
I
we'll
feel
have
like
to-
that one guy off of TikTok that's got the like gray stripe in his beard. Have you seen that guy?
Dude, if you color your beard and just leave a gray stripe, please.
And the only thing I hate is that it's off center. It drives me nuts.
We'll dye it.
Yeah,
Just
dye
it down both sides. Be like Doctor, do the Doctor
No,
Strange
I'm
thing.
telling you, straight black and then just one white stripe.
I feel like I'd be like, what's the X-Men character? Rogue? Was it Rogue that had the like one white streak in her hair?
That's fine.
You don't have to worry about that.
No, but you know
no one's
what I
going to
mean,
compare you with Rogue. You're
I just-
safe.
I just don't think that I'm not ready to start dyeing my beard yet. It's two reasons. I feel like if I dye my beard, I'm gonna feel old, and I don't feel like I'm that old yet.
Chicks like dig the gray.
And well, I was gonna say that's the other thing. Like if I dyed my beard like back to a full color, my wife would be like, I don't like it now. Like she likes the gray in my beard. She's like, it makes you look
You
more
can't
like.
shave that beard. I'd seen what you look like without it, and you can't.
Dude,
rock
no, I
Yeah,
can't.
no.
I cannot. I will never be able to shave. Like this is the shortest it's been in like 4 months. I trimmed off a lot, like 2 inches, and it was only because it was just getting annoying in the heat.
Yeah, you've always had a beard as long as
So
I've
2
known
is a
you,
lot.
So that'd be weird. Be strange.
Have you ever
seeing
seen a picture of me with
I
that
have. You're
beard?
ugly.
No, I mean it's not ugly. But like I showed a couple of my
No,
friends.
You're
It's like
ugly.
one of those pictures where his chin goes like 2 inches back.
It does.
It's
It
like
does.
an-
I have a picture of me in my military like
Yeah, no, you showed
blues, and I showed it to one of the bartenders that I work with at like the little side job, and he was looking. He's like, "That's not you." I'm like, "No, it's me." And he's like, "No, it's not." And I zoomed in on my name tag. He's like, "Holy crap!"
Chin
it's
does
you."
what?
Oh, no, like my chin goes all the way back. Like my
It looks like an over.
it does. It looks make me
Oh.
look. It's not like I have a giant double chin. It just like
Your
disappears.
beard makes it larger.
My beard makes my chin looks like it's the right size. But yeah, my throat's like way back here. It's like behind the beard.
I got you. I see what you're saying.
His beard is carrying his social media career.
I
So-
don't have that kind of problem. I don't have beard problems.
No, I don't have beard problems either.
I kind of look like Hobo Jesus there for a while on TikTok. My wife finally told me I needed it. Like it was bad. My hair got like really long.
Look like the Obi-Wan Kenobi of mead.
Probably. I probably got to that point, but so when you're not discovering the federal regulations
on this.
of yogurt, fruit, dairy combinations, like we were talking about this beforehand. Like we both play a lot of games and stuff, but like, and I know you do because we play together. But like, what are the like the more fun avenues of like what you like to do? Because when we grew up in
boring.
a small town, like
I'm very boring.
no, I don't think that's boring. Like if you play video games, you're not boring.
Well,
Like
yeah,
that's kind
but
of
if I'm not playing, I don't tend to play them by myself. I prefer playing with other people. But like, other than that, like, I'll just browse YouTube or I'll listen to music. Music is about the only other thing I do.
I think that's a rap, man. He's boring.
Said it himself. There we go.
Yeah, said himself. No, but I mean, like you, we were talking about this the other day. Like, kind of the whole point of starting up this podcast thing is, I think it was interesting that we were talking about every time we're together, we really enjoy our conversation, and that I didn't think starting this off that people would care, but I think you're right. Everybody has the same problem. It's like, oh, what is the kind of stuff you talk about with your friends? You don't sit around and talk quantum physics with what's his name?
Most people think they're boring.
The dead guy?
Not that guy.
Oh, okay.
Not no.
Like a Ouija board?
No, I know you're talking about wheelchair guy.
Yeah, Stephen Hawking.
Stephen Hawking. There you go. No,
Wheelchair
dead.
guy.
Wheelchair
Professor
guy.
X? He's not real, Israel.
Professor X can't hurt
He's
you.
dead.
Professor X is dead too.
No, oh, he's not
Well,
real.
Patrick Swayze's not dead. Oh no, not Patrick Swayze.
Patrick
Swayze.
Patrick Stewart.
He got backed
Patrick
into a corner.
Yeah.
Wow.
You do put baby in a corner, and it's cancer.
Patrick Swayze as Professor X. That'd be interesting.
No. Please no.
I mean, you get tighter with the pants if you can't feel them. If you can't feel your
There you
legs.
go.
Is that's what he's in a wheelchair for? That was the problem.
Well, I mean, the way the
Loss of
MCU
blood
does
flow?
things now, that's not unreasonable to think they might do something like that.
I mean, you could probably dig them up, maybe.
I'm talking about Patrick Swayze.
Yeah.
Did you see the new Roadhouse?
Is he dead?
Patrick Swayze is dead.
Oh, he is?
Oh yeah, he's been dead.
Oh, I
for
thought
a
we were
while.
still talking about Stephen Hawking.
No, he's dead
Stephen
too.
Hawking's dead too.
They're
They
all
have-
dead.
they have
Name
both-
one, they're dead.
When did
I
Patrick
think-
Swayze die?
A while ago.
I'm gonna Google it.
No, you don't have to Google it. It's fine.
No, I'm gonna Google it. Wait. We've got our guest to Google these things.
Yeah.
He's gonna look it up.
Yeah, I'm-
no,
I'm the
he
unpaid
passed
intern.
away a while back because I think it was like prostate cancer.
Oh, I
Yes.
didn't know that.
Yeah. And let me take my guess before you say it. 2016.
That was a bad year.
That was a bad year, and I'm also like, that's what I'm.
2009.
Oh wow.
Wow. Man.
No, that's why people make the joke that prostate cancer backed baby into a corner.
It's from the movie.
People joke about prostate cancer.
No, people joke about
You don't put baby in a
wow.
corner.
Dirty Dancing. I think it's a Dirty Dancing reference, but
Got you.
but speaking of Patrick Swayze, I'm glad that he wasn't alive to see the abomination that was the new Roadhouse. Did you watch this?
I have not.
No.
You have missed nothing.
For the same reason, I'm not gonna watch The Acolyte.
Okay, hold on. Wait, whoa. Okay, no, we gotta.
Oh, which baby?
No spoilers, okay? Because I haven't seen anything yet, and I opened TikTok today and got like two swipes into it.
It's just not released. Like
I
4
know,
months ago.
and I was like, "Whoa!" I forgot it was out, so I closed it.
What's The Acolyte? Star Wars.
It's the new Star Wars
It's
TV
the,
series.
It's the latest garbage bin they're gonna wheel out.
Aren't they going to do some more movies and they got a new director and everything?
Don't.
They're kind of sweeping the other ones under the rug.
kind of, yeah. No, okay, hold on. I know. Here's the issue that I have with the Acolyte. Okay,
It's gonna suck. That's the issue.
I think I would have enjoyed it had I not heard anything about it before it came out. Okay, and here's why. Do you know the backstory, Tyler?
No. I haven't heard anything about the show.
Okay, the backstory of the entire thing is it is set during the high point of the Jedi Order. They're not under any threat. Let me put it that way. It's not like the fall of the Order. It's like Knights of the
long is
Old
that?
Republic. I don't remember, but it's like Knights of the Old Republic time period kind of thing, right? Like they're in charge
Got you.
and they're a-holes. Like basically, I watched a TikTok guy who's like, "No spoilers. I'm not giving away any content of the show," but he's like, "This is it. The Jedi are in full force, pun intended."
All four of them?
No, it's like the whole order. No, that's what I'm saying. It's like during the temple, like there's younglings, like
Okay, yeah.
this is like the masters sitting in the council, like this is the Jedis, and they're jerks. Not like just like, oh, because of the, like that's the point of the show, is that they deserved what they got.
Yeah.
And I'm like, ooh.
Huh, but wasn't that made
Order
apparent in the first
66 was
trilogy?
supposed to be
I feel like that made that fairly apparent in the first 3 movies.
that the Jedi deserved to get, like, axed.
Well, they drove away.
Why are you over here shaking your head like, I kind of agree with this?
No,
Seriously? Like,
I just think the Jedi were stupid in the first 3.
well, no, I agree they were
no,
stupid,
no.
but do you
Darth
think that
Vader-
they were the bad guy? Because they in the Acolyte, apparently, the Jedi are the bad guy.
The whole Vader situation could have been avoided.
Well, of course it could have. Like, that was the Council's fault. They created it.
I think the Jedi in the prequels were kind of an organization on their last leg.
Well,
anyway.
didn't Count Dooku kind of say they did bring it on themselves? You have this long of peace or whatever, you become complacent. You turn blind eyes to things.
I just say when you have some of the wisest people in the galaxy sitting around like the round table or whatever it was, right? And there are no Sith, and they found a chosen one that's going to bring balance to the Force.
I mean, he did exactly
when
what
it's
they said.
unbalanced in their favor,
Oh, I know. Oh, that's
what balance are they hoping to achieve?
well,
with
and honestly, and he brought balance back at the very end because then the Sith outnumbered the Jedi. So what did he do at the end? He eliminated the outweighing of the Sith in that much because there was just one Jedi and 2 Sith. So then at the end of the movie, he murks the one Sith that's left and converts the last Sith back over to a Jedi.
we don't talk about those 3.
Except for except for Mara Jade, who stays as the last surviving Sith apprentice at
That's
the
not
end of that
canon
movie.
anymore,
That is
Israel.
totally canon. I
It's
don't
not
care.
canon anymore.
Okay.
It's not the
if we're
Disney
talking about
version.
canon or not canon, can we have a series about Starkiller?
No, 100% that's canon.
Starkiller is not canon.
Starkiller is canon.
No,
Starkiller
Is my
in this
canon.
episode.
no, he's not.
My canon predates Disney. That's where I say my canon is. You can't just spend $2 billion, buy the
Starkiller
IP
was
of
never
it.
canon.
Yes, he was.
No, you're talking about from the games.
Force Unleashed.
Yes.
No, he was never canon. He is too OP.
It doesn't matter if he's
He's
OP.
slinging Star
so
Destroyers left
so
and
was
right.
Luke Skywalker.
No,
Well, Luke
they're
Skywalker.
Sith.
So is
became
Princess
OP.
Leia. I can
They're
survive
Sith.
outside.
There's Sith in canon, in stories, Sith that are just as powerful, if not more powerful. They're just not shown in the
Starkiller
movies.
was spanking Darth Vader's butt in the games.
Okay, but honestly, they
Starkiller
did that just to
deserved, or
hype you
Darth
up.
Vader deserved it.
Darth Vader is powerful as well. Like, it's not a... What the... Was that a map?
Yeah, I keep hitting the wrong button on there. This is a new thing for me. I got to play around with this.
Okay, before the acquisition, Starkiller was canon. They were made non-canon
They were made non-canon. Okay, I see what
after
you're
the acquisition of Lucasfilms.
saying. Your source is wrong.
There's more powerful Sith
I just
than
don't.
Starkiller.
I just don't like it when somebody buys something because of what it is, and then immediately says like we have to change it.
Yeah.
Like you're either buying, and that's the thing that I don't like about Disney buying Marvel or anything else. I'm grateful that we've had all these great movies. I'm grateful that we have some great TV shows. Good or bad, Acolyte adds something to the universe. The universe continues to grow. The next generation of people get to experience something else and say, we hated that, make something better. And so we make more. But I hate it when somebody buys a series and then they're not even sure who the hero is. I was telling you about this last episode. We were talking about this. And I said, I despise it when people say like, oh, there's no strong female characters in Star Wars. And I talked about that interview with George Lucas at the con. He goes,
Yeah.
Princess Leia is the hero of the first movie. It's not Luke Skywalker. And I'm like, I was born in the 80s. I grew up watching Star Wars. How do I know that? And Disney that paid $2 billion, or was it more?
Disney doesn't care. Disney only cares about their bottom line. Like,
Disney only cares about if they can
literally
make a
bought
stuffed
the
animal
on the
game
next-
and then canned an already complete bounty hunter game for Star Wars.
Oh, that's
If
true.
Disney cared about their bottom line, they would stop shooting themselves in the foot with their content. And I'll just leave it at that.
Okay,
Well,
you can't
and
just
there's
whisper
other-
'cause
there's
I don't
other-
have cans on. I can't hear you.
I didn't realize I was whispering. I was going to say they had other female main characters like Chewbacca.
Chewbacca's not a woman. Don't do this to me. Do not do this to me.
Gaslight us like this.
For the record, if you can make the holiday special for Star Wars as George Lucas did, and that doesn't kill your entire franchise. I mean, let's be honest. He made 43 minutes of Wookiees talking in Wookiee with no subtitles
It's not called Wookiee.
on purpose. Okay, and that didn't kill the franchise. And Disney did it in
Because it was-
$300 million worth of
It was
marketed
an
ads.
obscure kids show.
What
It wasn't meant to be like
the Christmas morning special
yes.
was supposed to be in a language that kids couldn't understand. We're
No.
supposed to understand like the family bonds of the Wookiee like social system from
The
for
point,
43 minutes.
It's literally just like, hey,
Christmas
laugh at this.
the Christmas spirit transcends language barriers. That's the whole
Transcends or
point.
translates.
Both.
If you have to listen with your heart
Yeah.
I don't believe it.
and plenty of alcohol.
Christmas on Kashyyyk.
I remembered. I mean, I've seen it. It's on YouTube. If you haven't watched it, I'm
seen
going to
parts.
break the third wall. If you haven't watched it,
Fourth
go fourth wall, third wall.
Fourth wall.
Fifth wall. We'll just
Fifth
go
wall?
beyond. We go beyond here.
I'm going to talk to the camera. If you haven't seen this, go look up the Star Wars Holiday Special. It's not available anywhere that I know of regularly, and even the ones on YouTube get taken down all the time because like there's a holy crusade of scrubbing it from existence, and you'll know why. It's terrible.
I've seen clips. It's awful.
It's
It's
bad.
terrible.
I make my kids watch it just to remind them how good they have it now. I should make you watch it to remind you how good you have it to complain about the Acolyte series.
It's
it could
almost-
be worse.
It's almost as bad as the last trilogy.
Has anyone ever told you you're a bad parent?
Yes, my ex, but I don't take her advice. So that's neither here nor there. I make
Hey,
my
watch
kids
this
watch
terrible
stuff to
show.
realize it's a great. But hold on.
Look how good you have it.
Well, no, I always remind them all the time when they watch a new show and they're like, "This show is boring," and I'm like, "You want to see boring?" They're like, "Dad, we're tired of watching
Casanova.
this."
Dude, I love it when the kids are watching something on
It's a nice cork sound
Yeah.
effect. Sorry, that was good though. I'm sorry.
like they watch a lot of Disney, but they watch
I'm a
Hulu and stuff, and there's a commercial, like one or two commercials. And
Yeah.
they're like, "Oh my god!" And it's like, dude, I had to time my bathroom breaks to the
Oh, yeah.
commercials. Like,
And not just on like
And he
Saturday
comes
morning
sailing
cartoons.
back across the couch.
yeah,
Yeah.
Yeah.
like
And there was always that
unescapable.
one. There was always that one commercial break that was way shorter than it's supposed to have been. And you were like in the bathroom and you heard the theme song come back on. You're like, "What?"
I thought you only watched things in black and white.
I like classic stuff, but I'm sorry. I'm with you. I'm annoyed by the majority of like modern TV that comes out because it's not a show. It's not a show. It's a message, which is fine. I would rather just watch something older because like there's so much stuff that I haven't gotten to see yet that I would really enjoy.
Yeah.
That I either enjoy watching something that's already out, or that I just haven't seen, or that I really enjoyed and I want to rewatch it. I just finished watching House. I never finished it.
Oh, I've seen clips of House. Yeah, that's good.
But it's a terrible show. No, I mean it's terrible. Like
House is terrible.
don't like you know when you watch a show and you're like, no, it's a good show, but like you know when you watch a TV show
Can't
and
be
you're
too
like,
analytical about it.
no, yeah, like that. I hope to God none of that actually takes place in a hospital.
So
Gotcha.
funny enough,
But like it's an entertaining show and I never watched it. I'd rather go back and watch that than watch something else new.
Yeah.
so funny enough, and this has been said by doctors, probably the most accurate medical show you can watch is Scrubs.
I've heard that. I think Scrubs is the most underrated of all the
Was
medical
that the
shows.
comedy?
Love Scrubs.
Yes. Yeah.
I just
Well,
I don't like the whole medical stuff. I don't watch that.
I think
Well,
the
it's
reason
more of a comedy. It's more of a comedy show. It's not like it's medical based, but it's straight up a comedy show.
Yeah.
Like there's not really even that much medical stuff to it, but the stuff they do show is accurate.
I think the thing that's most underrated about that show is that they show the full broad spectrum. Like it's not just from the doctor's perspective. It's actually kind of funny to me. Like I worked in a hospital. When I watch House, I find it hysterical because the doctors do everything. And I think that's hysterical because there's like 5 doctors in a room and they're like fluffing pillows. And I'm like, that would never happen. I'm sure there's a nice doctor out there that would do that, but you don't have 5 doctors and like one of them is pulling labs. I got paid $12 an hour to work at a hospital, and guess what my job was?
I don't know.
To pull labs. So that the doctor making way more than that didn't have to.
Got you.
And in that show, they have like a neurosurgeon pulling labs. On top of the fact that, with very rare exception, don't ever let a doctor do an IV on you, or because they haven't probably done one in so long. I mean, there's probably some guys out there. They're very good. I know a couple.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, don't do that.
No, you're talking about the older older shows and stuff. And
Like Andy Griffith's show
Well,
and stuff like that.
yeah.
The old black and white Zorros. Like there's so much to be gleaned from some of those really great pieces of Americana.
my thing, and,
You're judging me, but
well, no. And here's like we don't talk politics on this show, so I'm not going to
no,
discuss
I agree.
politics. However, I want to be able to sit and watch something where I don't feel like any viewpoints are trying to be pushed on me, and I don't care
want a
I don't care from
message.
what side they're coming from.
I agree. I don't want it either
any
side. I
viewpoints.
want entertainment, not a message.
Entertain me, tell me the story, and if you cannot entertain me without trying to, it's like education. Like if your kid has a teacher, if your teacher cannot teach your kid without enforcing their politics or their religions
Either
on the
side.
content, either side,
Either side of the coin.
then they're not a good teacher.
You don't
If
need
can't-
either of that for math.
if you can't
or
write
anything.
if you can't write a script for a
Right.
movie without unless it's like integral to the story,
Well, sure.
but it's
If
not
you're-
integral to 99.9% of
if
the
you're
scripts
writing a
out
movie about Martin Luther King, you should probably bring up, I don't know, the Baptist faith at some point.
there. Sure,
Like, that should probably be in
like,
the movie.
for Star Wars.
Exactly.
example.
No point.
And I have a feeling that's part of the reason I'm not going to like the Acolyte. Is that has no place. Sure.
See, is that in there? Is there stuff?
We'll find out. We'll find out.
Now
Well,
I'm
you'll
gonna have to
find
go
out. I'm
watch
not
it.
going to watch it.
I'm gonna watch it now.
But-
I go on vacation next week. My plan was to binge watch the first 4 episodes like
Yeah.
the night before.
I heard once you get to episode 3, it really goes downhill.
Why don't you just watch it on the road down there so you don't have to talk to your family?
Man, you do
Pro
know.
tip.
Because I'm driving.
Are you taking that or are you taking the transit van?
No, I'm taking the entire family. Like
No,
I'm.
vehicle.
Oh yeah, no. Like we're all riding in the bus
So why are you the one driving?
because my license says commercial on the front. My mother likes to put it
It's
as
not a commercial.
no, it's not. My mother likes to put it as. I mean, since it's
'Cause
your
you're the
children in the vehicle,
professional.
since it's your children in the vehicle, I feel like
that's
you
a
would.
cop out.
And that's what I said. I'm like, you guys just don't want to drive for 4.5
Yeah.
hours. But it's okay because my wife will literally puke everywhere if she's not sitting in the front. Like she is that person. If you put her in the back of the car,
She knows she's going to a boat.
no, she's fine with that. It's in the car. She cannot ride in the back of a car. It's not the motion sickness. It's the like she has to have air blowing on her face or she gets like super sick in a car.
I only really get sick if I'm reading on an empty stomach in a car.
I don't get car sick at anything. Like I'm good. I take the motion sickness pills. Like we're going on a cruise next
Does-
week.
does it
I
not
take the
help her?
scopolamine. Oh, it does. But like I put the patch behind my ear and I do the scopolamine. I'm usually fine. I went on a 14-day cruise 2 times or 3 times, and it was like the middle day every time is the one I got sick on. And it was like it was only for like 10, 12 hours. And I just felt uneasy and I would go to bed and I'd wake up and I'd be great. And ever since then, I mentioned it to Doc and I was like, hey, I don't feel good about going in case I get sick. He's like, why don't you just take the patch? And I was like, oh, I don't like the Dramamine because the Dramamine makes me I get tired. Right, it's 9 o'clock at night and I want to go to bed. He's like, no, Dramamine was like, that's so 80s. He's like, we have a patch that goes behind your ear now and you're fine. You put it on there and it's good for like 2 days. I'm
Did you
like,
take the regular or the less drowsy?
it doesn't matter.
Really?
For me, like if I take a Benadryl, I might as well like make no plans.
Yeah.
Really?
One Benadryl, I'm gone. I could stay up all night long. I worked ambulance and the ER for years. I worked nights at the ER. I was fine.
Benadryl just kind of numbs me. It doesn't.
Lucky.
I'm numb all the time.
Well, I kind of coast it.
You look
Dark.
it. You look it. You're like, oh.
I woke up this morning with my kids wake up like 6. So I woke up. I brewed a cup of coffee. I chugged like 3 cups of coffee. And then I sat in the chair while they were watching TV.
Do you legitimately drink that much coffee?
I drink a ton of coffee, but here's the
Really?
thing.
I can't.
I can't
sat
either.
down after I finished my cup, went and sat down at the chair where the kids are watching TV. Yeah. I fell asleep. I passed out. I fell asleep for like an hour and a half.
I can sleep after caffeine. I can do that. That's not a problem. But
I had to drink it because it kind of, I don't know, it is mentally it does something beneficial. It feels like it kind of straightens my mind out. But as far as like waking me up or anything like that,
Nothing.
nothing.
That's weird. You may need to go on a caffeine cleanse.
ooh, that would be fun to watch.
Is that like without caffeine?
Yeah.
go without because your body gets used to it, and so it doesn't affect you anymore. That's like why people are like on pre-workout and stuff. Like they'll start to up their dosage, and because it'll stop affecting them. So you got to go on a cleanse for about a week.
Are you suggesting I don't drink caffeine?
Yeah,
Why would you take away the man's will to
That
live
is
like
a, yeah. That is a.
I get it.
Wait
I
a second. Do you drink coffee?
Yeah, I just
Well,
drink a lot.
okay.
He
His
hesitated way too
argument
loud.
is if he's going to make fun of us for the yogurt thing from earlier,
no,
your argument is invalid.
I
If you
like
can't
coffee.
live without, but could you skip coffee without caring?
Yes.
Then you are not a coffee drinker. Like
drink
I'm
it
with
before-
you. I can't drink 3 cups in the morning or well, bad
Okay,
things
my
would
question,
happen.
I mean,
but-
you're
Do you drink it
talking
with cream?
heresy.
no, I'll do black.
Yes, I drink black too.
Black, cream, sugar. I don't really care.
I put butter in mine sometimes.
I try the
Cheetos
salt
stuff?
thing and I can't do it. I feel like if I didn't know it was there, it would be fine because I like the taste, but like the whole time I'm drinking it, I'm like, tastes like salt water.
No, I do like the
Unsalted
salted
butter. Is he?
No. Just this pinch of salt.
Oh.
Like that's a thing.
I thought you
Apparently
were
that's how
throwing
the
a whole thing
Navy
of
does their
salted
coffee.
butter in your coffee. I'm like, why?
No. It's like that's how the Navy
I put
does their
salted
coffee.
in mine.
You put salted in yours?
Yes.
Salted butter, yeah.
Yes.
Put
Yes.
Why not
Butter,
unsalted?
because unsalted butter is like butter, but with no salt. It has no taste at all.
You're not drinking it for the taste. You're drinking it for the fat content.
Be a man. Just put straight organic ghee in there.
Oh,
What? Ghee?
Ghee.
What the heck is that?
It's clarified butter. It's butter from.
Basically-
It's butter for
you
men.
basically cook butter down and you get rid of the solid fat, and you're
It's
left
like-
with clarified butter.
Oh.
It doesn't spoil easily and stuff like that. You can keep it room temp.
Thanks for
I
clarifying.
keep my butter room. I keep my butter room temp.
Well, yeah, as long as you keep it airtight, you're fine.
I keep it on the little thing that like my grandma had on the counter that just like closes over it.
Well, yeah, it covers it. You're good.
It's not like airtight.
Well,
like-
it'll last about a week. After a week, well,
I just scrape off the green parts and it's good to go. again.
That's how it was with my my grandparents. Like I would go to their house.
yeah.
They have
They have like the bread box on the counter.
yeah. Well, no. What I'm saying is like they give you like an apple and it's got mold. It's like, oh, let me just cut that off for you, and here you eat the rest of it.
Yeah. See, like, but hold on. I grew up that way. Did I just? But
Just a little penicillin for you.
was I poor? You know, like I look back over my life, but like I did not know this was weird. Please tell me if I'm odd. Well,
Right now or after your story?
Yeah, after my
Oh,
story.
okay.
I bought a big block of cheese and I had it in the fridge, and then Haley was cooking or whatever, and I pulled it out. She's like, "Oh my God, throw that away! It had mold." There was not mold all over the cheese. Okay, I want to defend myself
you
here.
cut off the mold. I
Thank
agree
you.
with that.
Okay, like
Oh my God, you ate that?
no, I didn't. I cut off that little piece and then I ate the rest.
You ate the rest?
Cheese is mold.
Cheese is mold.
Cheese is
You
mold.
cut off the mold. You ate the
Yes.
rest.
The only thing you
Yeah,
don't
you
mess
cut
with
off
is
the mold.
bread. Do not like if you
Oh,
have a
yeah,
piece
no,
of
I
moldy
don't mess
bread.
with bread.
So I didn't know this. It's like microscopic fibers of
Yeah.
mold that go through the whole thing. Do you know what puts the holes in Swiss cheese?
Mice.
Penicillin.
Penicillin.
Penicillin is the bacteria that grows in Swiss cheese that when it farts, it makes the bubbles in the Swiss
See that?
cheese.
I thought they just like put the fingers in it.
I also knew something very interesting that beyond anything else, this is weird. You know, that's why I love this podcast, like how it goes this direction. We went from that to, do you know beyond everything else, they attribute the fact that America had penicillin to why we won World War II.
No, wow.
Beyond everything else. And the funny thing is, Germany had penicillin too. So why didn't it help them? This is where it gets cool. Germany invented penicillin.
Yeah.
And then this woman, I believe in the Bronx, while shopping at an open air fruit market, found a moldy cantaloupe and said, "That mold looks odd. I want to study it." For no reason other than that looks odd. And she took it and found that it was this extremely obscure variety of penicillin that was 1,000 times more potent than the previous strand discovered. And it was right at the start of World War II when she made this discovery. So no one else in the world had the penicillin that we had. They had it, but it wasn't very effective. The stuff we had was so potent and powerful, you could give it in the battlefield. It's funny thing. We call it penicillin G, which is the stuff you used to be able to get at like Tractor Supply for your cows. It's the thick, milky white stuff that was super cheap and it was incredibly potent. So when a service member would get injured, they'd just be like, "Nope, drop your pants. You're going to get a shot of penicillin G." They would dope them up, and within 14 days, they could go back to the battlefield. If you ever watched Band of Brothers, the movie, there's a whole part about how like the one guy gets shot in the butt and he's back, and they're like, "How'd you get back?" And he goes, "I'm feeling better." They're like, "It's only been 2 weeks, Buck." Penicillin.
Wow. See, I always thought we won because we stormed the beach on Normandy, but
Well, it played its part.
oh, okay.
All those guys got penicillin too.
They all got penicillin.
Shot before they stormed.
Yeah.
No, but I think that's pretty cool. Like when you look back, it's like the thing. It's like, did you watch the movie with Alan Turing about Enigma?
Oh yeah, yeah.
What was that called?
Enigma.
Was it just Enigma? Was that the name of it?
I believe so.
I always feel like I get it wrong. It's got the actor Benedict Cumberbatch.
Yeah.
Yeah. You haven't seen this?
No.
Oh my god. Oh my god. Seriously,
It's
Fantastic
called
movie.
Enigma. What's it about?
It's about
the German
code,
Enigma
the German
machine.
Code.
Oh, okay.
oh, it's fantastic. So he was. And here's the funny thing. I didn't realize that. For one, the movie is based on a true life story, and the only reason the movie was never made sooner, it wasn't declassified until 2016.
Oh, that's crazy.
So basically, prior to 2016, if you've ever watched like the History Channel on like, today and how it's made, like German deciphering of World War II, any of those documentaries that we grew up watching on the History Channel, they weren't wrong. They just didn't have the right information. It was that we never broke the Enigma machine, right? I mean, like everything that we never broke the German Enigma, lies.
Yeah.
We did, and this movie is about the group of people who did it.
Because
How they did
To
it.
know we did it.
Well, that. Oh my god! I'm not giving anything away because I mean the point of the movie is the whole point of the movie.
Yeah.
Not only did we break Enigma, but when we did, we didn't use it. Like that's the deepest part of the movie is they break Enigma, and I'm not going to tell you how because it's so cool.
Yeah.
And then they read the first message that's been declassified or decoded verbatim. Like just read it, and he's like, "Wow." And the guy goes, quick, we have to stop the attack. Because like this message was like, they're going to attack. And he grabs the phone and rips it off of the wall. And he goes, what are you doing? We have to stop the attack. And he goes, we can't. Because if we stop the attack, they'll know.
Yeah.
And then they'll change everything. And he goes, what? And so the whole point of the declassified files was not only did the British break it during World War II, then they established a ministry who, based upon game theory and odds, what pieces of information can we use that we know to bend the tide just enough that we win without the Germans ever questioning how we're winning?
Because it's like
They literally would see, here's 2 messages. They're going to bomb these ships. Okay, well, we could call the ships and say you're about to be sunk and save thousands of lives. But then the Germans would change their machinery and we could lose the war. Or we're going to let these 2 ships sink, knowing they're going to sink. And it's really cool because the man that's the whole movie is based upon is Alan Turing.
Yeah.
And if you've ever, you're familiar with the Turing test for artificial intelligence. He's the one who created that.
Interesting.
And it's a very powerful story. And the reason why you've never heard of him is that he was ostracized and he actually committed suicide later
Due
in
to
his life.
chemical castration.
Yeah, he was a homosexual at a time, and that was not allowed in Great Britain, the world, whatever. And so even when it was made known that he single-handedly, basically, he saved Britain from losing World War II, he was never given a medal. They took away his home. They put him in an insane asylum until he eventually took his own life. It's a terrible.
Oh yeah.
It's a terrible story, but the movie itself, amazing. And it's got is it Keira Knightley that's in it? I think it's Keira Knightley. You got to watch it.
Check it out.
No, it's not The Enigma. It's called Imitation Game.
No, it's not.
Oh, bro.
No, it's not.
Yeah, no, you look it up. Imitation Game.
Hubert Cumberdale, you said?
Benedict Cumberbatch.
The imitation game? That doesn't even sound. It's called it.
Beetroot cucumber.
Let's see.
Wait for it. I have it on your face so I can see your
Oh, you
reaction.
son of a.
What is it?
Don't worry about it.
Is it Imitation Game?
No.
Yes, it is.
Stupid.
I had to really think about that, but yeah, Imitation Game.
That doesn't even sound. There's no way. That's,
No, and that's why I said like that doesn't sound right when I said
I
Enigma.
thought it was
But
named after Enigma.
no, well, I thought it was too, but no, I'm telling you, you know my wife. She doesn't really care one way or another about movies in general. She loves that movie. Gotcha. She got to watching it. She's like, "Wow, that was really good." And I was like, "Honey, that's all true. Like that's a true." She's like, "Well, it says based on a true story." So I pull up the like, okay, let's read the true story. And I start reading through the like Wikipedia or whatever.
Based on a true story doesn't mean anything at all. It doesn't mean anything at all. We watched a movie several years ago, Fifth Kind. You ever seen that? Based on a true story?
Okay, well, I saw the third kind. I know that sounds
it's-
stupid.
I'm pretty
Not
sure
the
it's
same
called-
movie.
Pretty sure
Like,
it's called Fifth Kind.
okay.
It's got Mia Jovovich.
Oh, yeah. From Resident Evil. That's what I grew up.
No, from
Mila
Fifth-
Jovovich?
No, from Fifth Element.
Yeah, she's also from Resident Evil.
No, she's from Fifth Element and she was on Resident Evil. Get your crap together.
I'm like, wait. No, I'm pretty sure she was on it.
But anyway,
But she's from.
But she's from the Fifth
just
Element.
shows the age
so
difference.
Chris Tucker is from the Fifth Element, not Rush Hour?
Rush Hour was
No,
before
he-
the Fifth Element, I think.
Yeah.
Was it
It
really?
was that guy from Rush Hour. On Fifth
Whatever.
Element.
Mila Jovovich, the Fifth Element,
Yeah. Anyway,
or Fifth Hour, or Fifth Race.
Element.
Did you lose
No,
your train of
okay.
thought?
Yeah. So she was on the Fifth Element. This
Okay.
is like maybe it was fifth kind. I don't know. But anyway, it's a movie about 10 years ago, maybe a little bit older, but it's about alien abductions
Oh,
and based on a true story
I think it's totally real, by the way.
where she was like, and she ends up being possessed by like an Anunnaki alien at the end. And I remember watching that and I was like, holy crap.
I'm judging from the look on his face. He's like,
Like-
okay, there's like a belief system. I'm gonna paraphrase this.
Whose face? His face?
His face.
You haven't heard of the Anunnaki?
I was gonna say, hold on,
I haven't even seen the movie.
that's not a movie.
Well,
No, the fifth. The
no,
one
it's
you're
not.
talking
It's not a made up thing.
about.
Okay, so there is a belief that okay.
Okay, but
there's
the
a
are we
belief-
going down this rabbit hole now?
No. Like there's a belief of people that think that the world is flat. Okay, I'm not going to argue one way or the other with people. If you have a strongly held belief, I don't care what it is. If that's what you believe, I'm not going to try to convince you
Bless your
because
heart.
there's no point. There's no point, and it's not because I think you're right or I think you're wrong. Because you know what? If science has told me anything or taught me anything, it's that we don't always have the answer for everything. And you know what? Sometimes we have it wrong. I don't think the world is flat. But if something came out and it turned out to be flat, I'd be like, huh, interesting. I guess all science is evolving. Great, cool, whatever.
Sure.
There is a belief that there was an ancient race of people that existed on Earth thousands of years ago called the Anunnaki. Correct?
Kind of.
Somewhere along those lines.
Kind of.
And that they left. And that they left and said, we'll be back. And that's kind of the reason why societies all over the world share very similar things. Like, why would the Aztecs build pyramids at the same time the Egyptians build pyramids at the same time? Like there's all these pyramids. There's like things that according to this group of people that also like believe this thing.
Yes and
You
no.
are doing
No,
like a
that's-
Cliff Note version, but doing it no justice.
Okay, but like.
Okay, well, you give me the Cliff
what's
Note version
the
of it.
easiest way we can build a big tower that we can do rituals on? Let's stack them in a pyramid.
No, it actually is the hardest because trying to build that is the hardest.
The most
That's why we
people-
don't know
No,
to
it's
this
not
day.
hard because you can stagger up. Instead.
That's why to this day we don't actually know how the pyramids were built
They
because that
actually
we go
fairly
we don't
well
understand how.
know.
No, they don't.
It's completely
No.
They
Those stones are
completely
too
assume.
large.
They completely assume. That's the whole point.
Well, if you want-
Egyptology is a giant
Yeah, I know.
joke.
Guess.
No,
It's a guess.
But there are actual old contraptions that they've actually tested that move them fairly well. Unless
Show
you want to
me
go
one.
the Nutcracker version where they use sound vibrations in the sand.
But
Well,
can they not
okay.
also prove that?
First of all, there's no reason to personally attack anybody.
I guess we should sell our stock in the sand vibration
Wow,
company. Like,
I know, right? No.
okay, so
Let's-
if that's the abbreviated Cliff Note, not do it justice version, please.
Okay. So you have Sumerian creation text.
People who invented beer.
The Sumerians, yeah,
Yes.
they invented
Greatest
like
civilization
really
ever.
like the oldest civilization, right?
Yeah.
One of the first.
And people have they have translated the text, but however, one guy also it's just like any language, especially like a dead language, you can have multiple.
Did you say dead
interpretations.
language or dad language?
Dead language.
Okay.
You can have multiple interpretations, right? Look at the Bible, for example.
Right.
However, so there's multiple interpretations, but one of the guys that interpreted these Sumerian texts, Zechariah Sitchin, he interpreted it wildly differently than what is accepted by the mainstream,
Based upon what?
just based upon different interpretation, right?
Like based up okay, like when they're like if you're going through like hieroglyphs and they say like, okay, based upon what we know about the peoples, how they because it's not all, because it's a dead language, right?
Yeah.
They have to go off of like, oh, well, this is what we think they're inferring, right? That's part of it. It's
I
like
think that's
understanding the culture.
It's probably fair to say some of that goes into a lot of the context of it. Yeah.
So do you think like he just inferred differently based upon the same evidence, or do you think like he had some different evidence that got to that?
He was not classically trained. Like he didn't go to like university to be trained. He was self-taught. And so,
Okay.
And that comes with, when you go to college, that comes with anything you're taught in college, it comes with a little bit of bias. I mean,
Sure.
look at science. Science comes with bias. Religion comes with bias. So he just taught himself, and he translated the text. But basically, it's instead of the interpretation that is officially accepted, the Sumerians, according to his interpretation, we took a very different change from mixed yogurt, by the way. But the Sumerians, according to their
Is
interpretation,
this not the exact definition of like men hanging out talking? Like our wives all think that we're out doing God. Well, sorry, you don't have one, but our wives are all out thinking that like, oh, I bet he's thinking of other women. I love that meme.
Yeah.
And then it's actually three guys in a garage drinking bourbon, talking about
ancient Sumerians.
discussing
Ancient
mixed yogurt and
Sumerians.
aliens. But anyway, according to the interpretation,
That's the soundbite of the whole episode right there.
according to the interpretation, there's another planet outside of Pluto in the furthest reaches of space. And
Within our
in our
system.
solar
Yeah,
system.
yeah.
We know
And
it's there.
We know it's there. We
This is
today,
true. That's
so
true.
today we know that there is
there's a gravitational field, but we
and
don't
it's
know
not-
what's there, what's
and
causing
it's not.
Well, it's like black. Yeah, the sunlight doesn't really reflect off
Right,
of it.
But here's the thing: it's not a small planet. It's Earth size or relative.
They call it like Planet X or something.
Planet X. But anyway,
So,
hold on.
you did know about this.
Well, that's
I know
science.
about
That's
the
accepted
planet.
in
That's
science.
science.
They know.
It's an actual-
they know
they
there's
know it's
probably.
there.
I didn't know that there's a thing called Planet X.
Yeah.
I've still been looking up the stuff on like the black
So anyway,
satellite thingy.
the Black Knight satellite.
Yeah. Okay. Well,
But
that's a
anyway,
whole other
But
episode.
you had the dude. I go down these rabbit holes all the
I
time.
love this.
But
This
you
is
had-
going to be great.
They were from another planet,
Oh, okay.
and they damaged their planet, just like
Sure.
I mean, look at us. They damaged their planet. They destroyed their atmosphere to an extent where
Probably didn't help that they're all the way out by Pluto.
well, that's a whole other thing. Like how is anything? Yeah.
I also have devastating news. Planet X apparently technically has not been found.
I know.
It's theoretical still.
I know.
Well, of
We
course
all-
it's
yeah,
theoretical because if
yeah.
it wasn't, we would
I
be
thought-
teaching there was 9 planets.
But they're looking for it actively.
They would
Yeah.
not, because for a while they didn't teach Pluto.
They still don't.
no, they taught Pluto was a planet. Now they
Pluto is
come.
now a planet again. I
Yeah,
thought
it-
they,
What?
Yes, they
brought that
they
back.
reverted it because like when I grew up, Pluto was a planet.
Yeah.
they took
Right?
it away.
Then they said no, it's a planetoid mass,
Mm-hmm.
and I'm like, so that's still a planet. And then they came back like, no, it's not a, it's planetoid. It's basically like a really big asteroid. I'm like,
It's a
so
big
it's
moon.
so it's a moon. Like that's no moon, that's a space station.
No,
and
if
now
they-
it's back to being a full
If
on
they had
planet.
found Planet X, they would be pointing the James Webb Telescope at it. We'd know a lot more about it probably. So
Well,
we
it
don't know
might
anything.
have- It probably also has a very wide.
Elliptical
Yeah.
arc.
Yeah.
Well,
Why
so
aren't they looking for it with the James Webb Telescope? I mean, it's not like it's that
space
far
is
away.
huge, dude. It's a needle in a haystack. You know,
Yeah.
it'd be like looking. It'd be
Oh,
like
I thought they
looking through.
knew like about where it would be
Outside
like,
of Pluto, that's all they really know.
theoretically.
Well, here's the
They
thing.
don't know
Here's-
what path it takes. They don't know.
let me go back to this because this is
Sorry, continue.
We're on another tangent.
So anyway, so their atmosphere was devastated, and they tried a lot of different things to try and correct the atmosphere. According to the lore, the planet they live on actually comes close or within the the inner planets every like 36,000 years or something like that.
Don't you
so-
love when it's a round number?
Well, yeah. Anyway,
It's
so
an
around
estimate.
36,000 years, they come close. They come close to the Earth, so it's a pretty far out planet. Anyway, they discovered that they can use gold to actually fix their atmosphere.
Is this gonna somehow tie into like El Dorado or something?
No, but
Dang it.
what they would do is it was like it's like atomic gold, like particulates,
Oh,
and it would
yeah.
we've actually have proven that scientifically. Like if you it will help like offset greenhouse effects and stuff due to the
Well, it's like the most energy absorbent, conductive, reflective thing that we have on our planet. So,
So they came to Earth and started mining gold, and they realized, hey, digging around the ground kind of sucks. And so they looked around and they saw bipedal humanoids at
Homo
the time.
sapien.
Maybe not even Homo sapiens.
Oh.
Maybe like Gigantopithecus or something like that, like a large.
Is that a word?
It is. It's,
Okay, I grew up on a chicken farm.
Okay, I'm sorry.
You're gonna
Gigantic.
have to go slow.
Okay.
You're
I was
talking
trying.
to several uneducated men.
I was trying to sound smart with Homo sapien
So
sapien.
Gigantopithecus, modern day people think like Gigantopithecus might have been descended from, or maybe is Bigfoot today. It was like a very large
Sasquatch. Why don't you
Sasquatch.
just say Sasquatch?
but anyway, it's a large
Giganticus.
Giganticus. It was a very large primate.
Okay.
But anyway, so they looked around and said, "Hey, there's this
I never
species
thought
that's
of
very
Sasquatch being a monkey, but you're right. I mean, it does kind of look.
it's
like a
very
giant.
large and
Yeah.
very strong." And so they began with whatever they decided to go with, Homo sapien or Gigantopithecus or whatever.
Whatever.
They began
Sasquatch.
a genetic breeding program to create basically us, and we were used to withdraw the gold out of the earth, and then they took it back and they left it like deuces. We'll come back maybe, not really.
Or did they leave us here to keep mining it, knowing that they would come back 36,000 years later?
Well, the thing is, humans have a very
Short attention span.
we have a very strange obsession with gold. We like gold for some reason.
Well, it is
and
pretty.
there's evidence of very ancient mines, particularly in Africa, which is where they actually said, according to the lore, where
I have
they
heard
settled.
about the thing in like the Grand Canyon.
The Egyptian thing.
Yeah.
Well, that's a whole other.
That's
a whole other
like-
spill.
Dude, have you heard about this?
No. Okay, we're on like 3 tangents right now. We ever gonna circle back?
No.
Okay.
Okay, I'm sorry. Let's
Hold
circle
on,
back.
hold on.
Circle back. Go
This
back
is,
to
this is not a podcast. This is 3 guys having a natural conversation that you've had yourself, and then you get home later at 4 a.m. and you're about to go to bed and you go, crap, what did we actually talk about?
He's
all
the
night?"
guest, and he wants to go back to
Oh,
yogurt.
I don't really care.
You can go back to yogurt.
Yeah, we can talk about yogurt.
No.
You said we need to finish what we were talking about.
That conversation. Like 30
Okay, wait.
minutes ago.
What is the thing that I cut off that we need to circle back to?
Well, I don't know. I think we've gone too far. I think we're talking about Turing, or did we finish that one?
That was just me talking about like a really great movie you need
And
to
then-
see. Is there any movies or books
doing
that are
some
written
about
about
pyramids.
like this? And don't say books like I don't
About what I'm talking about right now?
I don't want to read the book about the guy like wearing the tinfoil hat talking about it. Like, is there a book that kind of talks about it in the like? I don't want to
Kinda?
say science fiction,
I mean,
light, but let's
Hermeticism, kinda.
How does Hermeticism have anything to do
Well,
with
wait a minute.
about
Because it
Anunnaki?
talks about basically a guy at the top. They came down and gave him all this.
Can you
stuff.
translate Hermeticism for me, just for my like?
It's like a religion. It's like an old religion. That
He's giving me the raised eyebrow. So what is
that the
Hermeticism?
Catholic Church kind of killed.
Oh,
I wouldn't say. Have you read the Kabbalion?
is that why they have all the gold?
Huh? Is that where you're getting your information?
Well, I don't have several different books about it.
Okay.
But
Wait a
what's
second.
different?
So wait, but break it down. Break it down. Like
Trismegistus and or however you say his name. That basically
Hermes?
started
his
it,
name
yeah.
is Bigfoot. We can go. Nobody says, "Oh, let's." Okay, wait a second. What's a scientific name for like ants or something? I know you probably know this.
Ants.
Please don't.
No, don't.
They're ants.
You know, it's not ants. Whatever it is.
I don't know.
My point is that when you want to kill an ant, you don't say "Let's kill the Crawlus on Floricus." Okay, like
It
it's
sounds like
just-
what they say in like Hogwarts.
it's just
Crawlus on
just
Floricus.
Bigfoot. I don't even say Sasquatch unless I'm in Oklahoma
Oh, so
Why Oklahoma?
because that's Sasquatch country.
no, it's more like California. And,
No, have you not been up
Georgia.
there?
Hold on.
That was northern Georgia.
Dude, it's everywhere. They have like people have like the signs. It's like Sasquatch sighting.
I know.
You can get a Sasquatch.
They
South-
have that all over northern Georgia too.
You can get a Sasquatch hunting permit in Oklahoma.
Southeast Oklahoma is the hot spot right now, but classically, it was in classically, it was in like Oregon and North California and Washington.
That makes sense.
I didn't know that it was actually legitimately still a thing. I thought it was just like cartoons until I went up there and people have like,
I want to have a conversation about this one day, but I was planning to bring it up closer to Halloween. But yes, it is a thing. It is very much a thing. It is a very active thing.
I mean,
And
people still think Loch Ness is a thing over in Scotland. Like, I mean, it's not. There's a reason why these stories.
let me
My point is,
no.
I'm saying there's a reason why these stories have stood the test of time. They're not just folklore is still lore. Something has caused a group of people to believe in something strongly enough
Because
to
they've
pass it
seen
down.
it.
Exactly. To
Okay.
pass it down to their children beyond just nightmare and bedtime stories.
Let me tell you some background on this.
On what? Are we going back to the city of gold
on
or
Bigfoot.
Bigfoot? Okay.
I think you
Sasquatch.
brought up the city of Gold.
Well, whatever.
I grew up.
If an alien race was teaching us to collect gold, there's a reason why like the Vatican and El Dorado exist.
My dad, when he was a kid,
Okay.
he and his brothers traveled a lot. They traveled extensively in like the 60s and 70s because of my granddad was a sheetrocker and he traveled seasonally. He spent a lot of time here in Texas, but also in the Northwest. And they, not just he, but my grandmother when she was alive, I never really got to talk to my granddad, but my grandmother when she was alive and my uncles have Bigfoot stories from not just Washington State, but also here in Texas, 30 minutes from here, right? Yeah, like on the side of the road, they've seen it. So I grew up hearing stories about this. So for me to ever like believe that Bigfoot was real was no big.
That's not a stretch.
It's not a stretch. However, I've started.
So like we're gonna put this on record. You think Bigfoot is real?
I think it's real. Yeah.
I think something out there that is either being. I don't think that there is a 6'6" tall species of mammalish orangutan pithecus or whatever the heck his name is that exists out there hasn't been discovered. I think either something. I mean, I go with like it's the modern age. Everybody like I could have believed this in the 90s. I could have believed this in the 80s. I could have believed this in the 70s. Like everybody has a cell phone. Everybody has a camera.
There's no way we don't have our.
That's the only reason why I'm hesitant. Other than that, I'm 100% with you.
In a fursuit and a blurry photo.
I
See, and that okay. I think that there's probably been a lot of imitators. Okay, that
Of course, yeah.
that, of course. But like that's where I come back to is like you can't trip and fall at a shopping center without it ending up on some TikTok video that people make fun of because everything is being recorded all the time, everywhere. And I'm like, that's where I go back to. I'm like, I want to believe. I love that
absolutely
line from the
right.
X-Files. I want to believe.
If, and it's going to sound crazy.
No, it's not gonna be
If it was
crazy.
a flesh and blood creature like you and I understand it, you're absolutely right.
So you think
There are many stories, my grandmother included, where they would find tracks and they would follow them in snow, in mud, in sand, and they would just end. Like in the middle of a field.
like poltergeist?
Like just disappeared. Like I'm following tracks, fresh tracks.
Yeah.
In an example of my grandmother, like it was she saw it the night before
Saw
out her
what?
window, Sasquatch, walking.
I have a hard. I'm not smiling.
Okay.
I'm not smiling because I don't believe you. I do not want to be a jerk.
No,
It's just like it is weird to talk about it in a serious setting.
I fully recognize that it is, and but
But
hear
let's
me
be
out.
honest,
But
if
she-
time
Sasquatch-
period where a lot of people are on drugs.
my grandmother, she grew up Southern Baptist.
Okay.
She's not like Southern Baptist today.
on,
like
but-
bless your heart, Southern Baptist. She was
I know
not
what
doing
quite
drugs.
a few Southern Baptists do behind closed doors, though.
No, those are just regular.
And I
Baptists.
think this whole, and to be fair, I think this whole drug thing is like what they say. Were you drinking or was on drugs?
It was
kind
in
of
the Coca-Cola.
That's kind of a cop out.
It
Like,
was in the-
like unless
It was in the Coke.
if someone was to say, "Yeah, I was on mushrooms and I saw Bigfoot," yeah, okay, I could, sure, okay, you're on drugs. But if you're like, but anyway, my point is, she saw it the night before out her
Okay,
window.
all right.
She the next
I'm not-
morning.
I'm
she
not
went,
judging.
She went into the field it was in because it was a field.
Okay.
She had a clear view of it in the moonlight, and the tracks ended in the middle of the field, and
I mean, crop
That was-
circles are a thing, so I'm like, I could totally see like footprints just
Okay,
disappearing
but
into
that
nothing.
That could straight up be explained, though.
No, well, anything could be explained.
You think he
it could be
moonwalked out?
It
His
could
own
be.
tracks?
It could just be like a practical
it could have been
joke.
muddy or whatever, and then it swapped over to, and it was just more of a dried out portion of the field.
Was he like?
It could have been.
Was he like picked up in a dirigible?
Maybe a
dirigible?
big bird came in.
See,
It
you didn't
could
know I
have
knew
been.
You didn't know I knew the fancy word for hot
could have
air
been.
balloon, did you?
Well,
I've
the
never
whole
heard
the
of
whole
that
lore, the whole lore gets crazier than that.
Well, yeah, there's some crazy people out there. I'm sure it
No,
does.
I love crazy people.
the lore
Yeah,
gets
no, they're fun.
the lore gets crazier than that.
Okay.
Were you sending
Because-
it there, or are you explaining this?
Do I need to like?
I'll
do I
elaborate.
need to like turn on the creepy voice in the background or something for this?
No.
I can.
For a long time, people didn't talk about Bigfoot, right? Because
Right.
they're afraid of being ostracized and made fun of and things like that. There's other things out there,
Oh, 100%.
more uncommon things.
What was
that
the
people-
what was the
So
half
let me tell
zebra,
you,
half tiger thing that we all thought? Like,
thylacine?
Yeah, that everybody was like, oh, that
Tasmanian tiger. I'm
yeah,
sorry.
yeah, that doesn't exist. And
Yeah,
then it's like
and they're having
somebody,
pictures of it now.
somebody finally got a picture of it, and they were like, oh crap, I guess that actually existed. And the guy that claimed that he saw it, that was like kicked out of the scientific community, like he died penniless because everybody was like, you're a quack. And then later they're like, I guess we should like give him an award or something.
that under the rug.
Yeah, and I was like, that was the thing, the Tasmanian tiger. And then like the last one died in captivity, and they were like, oh, cool, yeah.
Yeah, they actually have a picture of it.
Honestly, but like, let's be honest. I think there's still animals that exist today that we think are extinct, but probably just don't see it. Because you're right, the universe is massive, but our planet is massive.
I fully acknowledge for something as large as people say, like the Bigfoot is.
It's just because of the areas that it is supposed to exist in. They're so big. I mean, they're so densely populated.
I agree.
It's Texas.
I agree.
Like everybody's got a gun here. If Bigfoot was a thing, somebody would have bagged and tagged them
Trophy
already.
hunted. Easy.
Seriously, like that's
agree.
what I think. So okay, so if you don't think it's an actual creature, you think it might be like a mythical creature, then
Of course, it's mythical. It's Bigfoot.
well, okay, but I don't say mythical as in like made up. I mean mythical as in like supernatural.
Okay.
So it's a teleportatable.
Teleportatable.
Is that even a real word?
I was trying to put it into a sentence with Pithica, and that was all that came out first.
If
Okay.
there was anything I learned when I was
Made
working
fun of me for qualm?
when I was doing my research into physics for my degree. If there's anything I learned is that the universe is a weird place.
Oh,
Right?
100%.
And just because
I 100% believe in
just
the
because
multiverse. So
you
you're-
and I have things that we accept that we would think that's just stupid for anyone else to believe, doesn't mean that it's not necessarily not feasible.
Right.
It's just outside of our experience in our realm. Like
what do they say? We haven't invented the science to explain it yet. I love that. Like when they're
we
talking about
haven't-
like mathematical problems, and it's like, well, how come we haven't solved it? Like we haven't invented the math yet. And I'm like, what?
It's a cop out.
That's not a cop out. It's like they legitimately haven't figured it out yet.
And frankly, to say that we haven't invented science to explain it, that's implying that science can't explain it.
Well, that's true.
And that
No.
sounds really, that's a bold thing to say.
That is,
but
that's kind of creepy. Like, I mean,
But there's a lot of things science can't really explain, though.
that's true.
Exactly.
And that we take for granted as, oh well, science can't explain it. But then
Well, it's like go back to the James Webb Telescope. Like they discovered something in the Orion Nebula earlier this week. Planets the size of Jupiter that are orbiting one another with no sun that we can identify. It's like, why would they form there? Why would they be orbiting
Not
each other
like
like
all-
this?
Three-body problem,
Like, hey
like,
guys, guess
just-
what we saw? We just saw two black holes orbiting each other, slingshotting each other through the universe.
it's not that kind of a
Hope
show,
it
man.
doesn't.
The
slam into us.
more we discover, the less we realize we know.
I
And
believe
so
that.
I'm not saying it's like a magical unicorn creature, but I'm saying
So
maybe it has-
Okay, all right, let's go off. Let's go on the like.
On that note, though, like it can be seen as crazy, but 100% like processors. Like you're telling me we came up with that? We tricked a rock into thinking?
Oh,
now,
that's a good
now you're
point.
saying we got our. Wait.
You're talking about
What
like,
are you implying?
Like,
Like, are you saying we got?
chip?
Yeah, we literally tricked a rock into vibrating, and now it tells time. And
That's a quartz crystal. Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah, sure.
and CPUs and such.
But I'm not sure where we're going with this.
It's on
Like
the same lines
science,
of,
like it's magic.
like magical.
Like at some,
yeah,
at
yeah,
some
yeah,
point,
yeah.
science gets to a level where it's not even science
like-
anymore. It's
No.
magic.
No. When you get to a certain level of science, it's esoteric. It's not science anymore.
Okay, now define that for the people in the room.
It's technically a science.
Well, yeah, it is. But how do you explain it? Like, what is science? Is
Okay,
explained
let me
by,
give you an example.
the way I define science is quantifiable data. It's something I can see tangibly and touch.
Okay.
Two rocks sitting next to each other equals two rocks.
Yeah.
If I take them and separate them, I now have one rock, and I have one rock. Like that's it's tangible.
Yeah.
That's what I think of as science.
Okay.
Because a lot of times when people say, "Oh, we can't explain it," it's
I'm prepared to defend my thesis.
"Ooh, I want
Okay.
to."
Okay. All right. Depending on your belief, it'd be a couple hundred years ago, or you could say several thousands of years ago. Whenever Hermeticism came about, we'll go back to Hermeticism. It was accepted at the time by many people, and I wouldn't say it's necessarily religion. It's more of a
What
philosophy.
time is this? I mean, ballpark.
But that's just my opinion.
Are we
What
talking-
time?
yeah,
Well,
we
it
talking
depends.
like-
I mean, allegedly, Hermeticism came from the Golden Tablet, which was found by Hermes Trismegistus, like in the Egyptian
Emerald
times.
tablet?
It was the Emerald Tablet, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah. What'd I say?
Golden.
Golden? Oh, I'm sorry.
Can I just say that I love that like you and I have known each other forever. you and I have known each other forever, but like I did not realize that you knew half of this.
Oh, well, actually,
He's got Kabbalah on his forearm.
What?
Sephiroth Tree of Life right here.
I always thought that the what? I don't know what the heck that is.
I actually, I mean,
Were we drinking when you told me this?
No, but you can look at it and see.
And I've had this for a couple years.
It's the Tree of Life, man.
Well, I know the Tree of Life, but like, okay, like my Tree of Life that I know is like Yggdrasil,
Well, and
Well,
the Viking Tree of Life.
I'm still fairly new into it, but I do study Hermeticism and stuff like that.
Interesting.
Like it's more of a
Yes.
spiritual.
And
thing,
you
but
were
they do
like,
still
you're
believe
like,
in a
who's
higher
this
power.
guy that you brought on today? I'm like, I got a guy. I know this guy.
let's unpack what we were
This
talking
is
about
gonna be
because this
lots
is like a
of
whole rabbit hole.
episodes.
It's fine. It's all good. So anyway, so Hermeticism basically, if you just really want to, there's a whole book. I'll loan it to you. You need to read it. But basically, if you want
I'm
to,
going on a cruise. This would be a good time.
if you want to kind of summarize it, the universe is mental. So like we all exist in the mind of some greater deity. This is also where the saying "as above, so below" comes from.
Okay.
And
very deep.
Great movie, by the way.
and everything is vibration, and everything has a polar opposite, right?
Okay.
And so after a while, our modern sensibilities were like, that's all stupid. We have science now. Now
We turned our
sci-
back on it.
Yeah, and now science is like, oh,
You're talking about like the turning of our back upon like the mystic arts or things because of
we're smarter than people used to be.
right. I get
that
you,
whole
I get you.
mentality.
We don't need to believe in those herbs that could cure us because we have science that says that this drug does it.
Yeah, but eventually, after we turn our back on these things, science is like, oh, well, look,
All these things we
Everything-
can't explain.
everything is vibrating. How unusual. Oh, it appears we live in some kind of holographic universe. Maybe
Okay, pause. Hold on. Is this? I don't know. That's why I'm asking. Is this what the podcast the other day? What's his name was on Joe Rogan, and he was talking about the guy that was in Iron Man before he got replaced with Don Cheadle. Terrence Howard.
Yeah, what a-
Terrence Howard. Was he not talking about the thing like everything vibrates? Is this what he was talking about? Because I'm not gonna lie,
he
I
kinda
listened to
did a-
10 minutes of that and I was like, whoa.
he did a master class on the whole thing. I was like, I don't know what this guy's talking about.
Okay,
Like,
I
I
was just-
follow along, but it's like I haven't studied any of the things.
I
he's
want to
talking
make
about.
sure that I'm following what you're saying. So,
Yeah.
but like everything,
it's all based off it. We'll say that.
everything has its own frequency that
Yeah.
it resonates at.
Yeah.
Or vibrates, not resonates. I don't know. Is there a difference?
You can say either one.
Okay, cool. I'm a chicken farmer.
Yeah,
Son of a chicken farmer here, okay? I have no
but
college degrees to my name, guys. I
But
think
my
so.
point is like, so people believe these things a long time ago, like the beast of Govardhan or wherever that was. Allegedly, it was like I forget. So I'm butchering it. It's French. It's a French story. It's a medieval story.
I legitimately like I don't think anybody watching this knows. I grew up for 25 years in a very, very closed religious sect. And I was homeschooled. So the exposure that I've had to any of this, very minuscule. So that's why I tell you, I'm not smiling because I'm making fun of you. I'm smiling because I'm like, holy cow, like this is a thing. Like I'm not laughing at you. I'm like,
Yeah, it's just.
it's like this sounds like a TV series that I'd watch. Be like, oh, this is so cool, guys. You should watch this. And you guys would be like, dude, that's based on that's like real science.
Yeah.
And I'd be like, what? If somebody said, check out the show, it's on Planet X, I'd be like, oh, that's a stupid name. Like, and you guys are like, no, that's a real planet, dude.
Well, I don't want to sidetrack and go into this whole story, but basically we have these old myths and legends.
Yeah.
That and these old belief systems.
Okay.
That
We turned our backs
we
on.
turned our backs on. We said, well, that's stupid. And now a lot of them, and now science.
Well, there's
and just-
always going to be people that follow it, but
Okay,
that doesn't
no,
necessarily
not
mean that it's being
necessarily
accepted.
We turned our back on it. Like a lot of the knowledge we have of it today is just what was left of us. Like a lot of what is left of Hermeticism is what the Catholic Church left for us. They literally took the books,
That's a
took
good
out
point.
what they didn't like, and republished them.
I'm a firm believer that
That actually happened.
I'm not going to say the Catholic Church because they technically weren't around, but the precursors of
Yeah.
the Catholic Church, the Roman Empire. The Roman Empire burned the great Library of Alexandria.
I will say that
Right, and-
Isaac Newton actually retranslated the Emerald Tablets. So he was pretty much not.
What?
You didn't know that?
I didn't even know the Emerald Tablets existed until like 5 minutes ago. So you're like, how did you not know? So dude got hit in the head with an apple. That guy.
Yeah, Isaac Newton.
Okay, I'm just making sure it was the same guy.
He discovered gravity. We didn't have gravity before he came.
I know. I mean, everything just floated around, right? Like,
No,
So he got hit in the head with an apple, looked down, pick up the apple, and goes, "What are these emerald tablets? Let me go ahead and translate it."
A
Like,
lot of his journals were coded. Well, that a lot of
coded? What do you mean coded?
you had to hide it from the church.
Yeah.
The church would
Like,
ostracize you.
are you talking about like mystery school stuff?
No, like you need like a cipher or the know the cipher to read what you're writing.
Yeah,
To
like
protect you if the Catholic Church.
alchemists basically
Yeah.
had their own codes.
What?
Yeah.
I've never heard of any of this. I've known both of you for years. How have I never heard of any of this?
Alchemy has
I know about alchemy.
specific
It's like
symbols.
we're going to turn stuff into gold.
Well,
That's what I was thinking when I think of alchemy. It's like I know the secret sauce to make sand into gold.
It's more of an internal thing.
So
But
basically,
there are stories.
modern medicine came from alchemy.
Yeah.
Okay.
Chemistry. Chem was the ancient word for Egypt. Chemistry originally was Egyptian alchemy.
Oh yeah. Speaking of, all this stemmed from Egypt, so that's another.
Yeah.
So Hermeticism is like Egyptian in origin?
Yeah. It's from Africa.
So you're
Everything's
trying to tell
Egyptian
me
in
that
origin.
all of
Yeah.
these years I've been watching Stargate, I've literally been learning nothing about the Hermeticism that it's based upon.
I guess not.
The TV show,
I don't-
because
I
it's
haven't
all
seen
based
enough
upon like
Stargate.
Egypt. Oh, you missed out, man.
It's just.
I
they
was
just
a
put it up there 'cause it's
TNG
cool.
kind of guy.
You know what?
I was a TNG kind of guy.
Oh man,
Yeah.
Patrick Swayze in space.
Man, we took
Patrick Stewart, whatever. Patrick Stewart in space.
Hey, we finally circled back.
Wow, this has been a ride, guys.
Yeah.
You know what's funny? This is only halfway through what we talked about last time.
really?
And like, I feel like there's about 12 episodes in here that were like, I'm not gonna lie, I would totally listen. Like, I want to know more about this.
We talked about
I'll
several
give you
things
my
that could be
books.
full length videos.
Well,
Yeah.
and like legitimately, I'm like, okay, this is a group of guys hanging out and they're talking, and the whole point of this is that when you're hanging out with people, you're gonna hear about something, and you're gonna be like, what the heck are they talking about?
Do you have a copy of Kabbalion, you said?
Yes, and then I also have Hermes' book as well, and then I have a book which I'll let you borrow. You'll like this one. It's a picture book.
What does that mean?
It's
You don't know what a picture book is?
No,
You really
I
were homeschooled.
Like, I just picture him like he's over here like, I got you a coloring book to teach you about medicine. Okay, like I'm not like a complete shrew. Okay, like I have multiple Eddas, and I know about like the Catholic Church burning a lot of books, right? Like I said, the Roman legions burning the Library of Alexander. I don't think they burned them. I don't think that happened. I think they took it. I think that's what the Vatican Library is. I think maybe not all of it, but there's a joke like nothing. There is no like list of what's in the Vatican Library. I did not know this. There's no list. You have to request what you want to read, and then they tell you if it's available. But they won't give you a list of what's available to request what you want to read.
And there's only a handful of people that have actually been down in the archives that have been given.
Well, no,
permission.
yeah, you're not allowed to go to the archives.
So,
Like you have to say like, I want to read this book in this printing
Okay.
at this thing, and they say sure, it's available. But then you can't say like, what else is available. They're like, that's not how it works. So
they
like, I
have
want to
let
know
people
what else is down there.
They have let people down there, and it's top-rated scholars, but they're also tied to the church.
Well, I mean, of course, I mean they're not going to just let anybody
Oh, of
walk
course.
down there because
That's
they
why,
might
yeah,
damage
you
it.
can-
But
you can probably count the amount of people they've let down there on one hand.
that's why what's that TikTok trend that everybody's talking about? Like, how many times does your husband talk about the Roman Empire?
Oh, yeah.
Right. And my wife comes home. She's like, tell me about the Roman Empire. I did not know about it. I'm on TikTok. I did not know about it. I went on like a 45-minute rant until she told me to shut up. And I said, what? She's like, never mind. And so then like a week later I came in and I was like, hey, I know what you were talking about now. Like that. But that's what I told her. She's like, tell me about the Roman Empire. I'm like, they're still alive today. She's like, what? I'm like, it's the Roman Catholic Church. It's the Vatican. That's Rome.
Did you tell her about how the Holy Roman Empire was neither holy or Roman?
Well, no, but like the point is like when you burn off, it's like, okay, I told you I like the poetic Eddas, the Viking Eddas, right? Why do we have no Viking holy books? Anybody know? It's because they were all destroyed. They weren't allowed to exist. They were like, no, that's a religious writing. You're not allowed to have it. So the only thing that exists is what's called the poetic Eddas, EDDA. Have you heard about this? They're basically songs and stories. Imagine if, let's say the Vikings had won. Okay, let's go here. let's say the Vikings had won, and today we have like the Viking Bible, we have the Viking science book, and the Viking dictionary. But you weren't allowed to have the Webster's dictionary. You weren't allowed to have the, I don't know, Graham Scientific Journal, whatever. Okay, those would be burned. They don't exist. So the only thing that would exist today would be like Shakespeare. That was allowed to exist because it wasn't spiritual, it wasn't scientific, it was entertainment. It was a poem. So the only things that we actually have that exist from the Viking time period today, I shouldn't say the only things, there are other writings, but the massively adopted, the way we know the Viking, their faith, their customs, or anything else, is from what they call the poetic Eddas. You don't have to hide the cork pop. That's the whole point. No, we want it. Like, that's the point. Like, we clink glasses, like all of that good stuff. Oh, that's so nice.
That was neat.
That's neat. Well played. Now I feel bad. That mine's got a little like. Mine's got a little.
Name of it?
Yeah. This is the neat talks, because the more neat it is, the more we talk. Let's be honest. We sat down. Did we think that we were going to get to this?
Yes.
I'm sorry.
I did not see us going here.
But for someone who really wants the cork sound, y'all have 2 bottle caps.
Well, so okay, this is a good time. This is a good time to talk about what we're drinking. Same thing. I gravitate back to my old gold standard. I drink my Evan Williams Bottled and Bond. My brother is the one that turned me onto this. This is inexpensive, and a lot of times I mix it, so I go with this. I have other things I plan on drinking, but I have some health stuff right now that I'm like, I want to take it easy, so this is what I sip on.
And even cheap, Bottled and Bond, you can't really go wrong with. There's a standard.
$17.
And there's a standard with Bottled and Bond. You're not going to get screwed.
Do you know the story behind why it's called Bottled and Bond, Justin?
I don't.
Oh, dude, you're going to love this. All right, so I'm going to go to your face right here. So, well, here. All right, so on the bottle, it says, Evan Williams, it's Bottled and Bond 100 proof. And then this is the part that I think is funny. Bottled under U.S. government supervision. So what they have to do to be a Bottled and Bond process, because back in the day, you didn't know what you were getting, right? Just because it said it was 100 proof, does that mean it's 100 proof? Do you even know what a proof is? Did I ever told you this?
No.
They would pour alcohol on gunpowder, and if it, when you touched it with a light, would still go, then it proofed that it was still alcohol. Because if you added too much water, it wouldn't flash.
I got that.
There was no proof to it anymore. So what they discovered was 100. I don't know why they picked it, but that was considered
The standard.
the gold standard. Anything above that was considered cask strength. It's so funny. Even today, if it's over 100 proof,
Considered
cask
what?
strength. Cask.
Cask strength.
Like straight out the cask.
Got you.
Anything under that is considered below proof. Not to say it's bad, but rum, 80 proof. Vodka, 80 proof. Bourbon and whiskeys, 90, 95. Those are considered normal. When you get it at 80 proof, we don't even think of that as whiskey. It's because it won't proof. If you dump 80% whiskey onto gunpowder and try to light it, no flash. At 100 proof, it will flash. So basically, the government would send out an agent who watched your whole distillation process. You had to pay the government for it, and then they would give you a seal saying this is, it's like FDIC bank insured. This was FDIC, you're getting 100 proof bourbon insured. And so then they could charge a little bit more because you knew you weren't getting bathtub water. You were getting bourbon. And I don't think it's for anything other than bourbon. I don't think I've ever seen like a Bottled and Bond rum. I think it's bourbon.
Yeah.
So so anyways, Bottled and Bond, that's their joke. They still do it today, even though of course it's bourbon. Of course it's whatever, but
Interesting.
that's what I'm drinking. What are you drinking over there, Justin? Is it the same thing you had last time?
Yes, the Dewar's blended scotch.
You have to show the little thing.
Show the people.
Show the peeps. The white label blended scotch. I wished I loved scotch more than I do. I don't. It's okay. I don't hate it. It's just
All right.
it's
Not
my
everybody, not
favorite.
everybody has refined
I don't know.
taste.
Highland Park
These are-
does. It's
That's
great.
true. And then you're drinking something fancy.
Highland Park 12.
So we had, what's the one we had?
At the party?
Yeah.
18.
Justin,
What?
you need to come this. May I invite Justin?
Yeah, I don't care.
Okay,
Whatever you
so
want.
Justin, this year, if you don't have plans, Tyler once a year does a crawfish boil, and not
Well, I
only
may not do one this year.
well, whatever, we're gonna get together. It might not be crawfish, but
I
like
try to do a couple parties a year. It's just
we're gonna have a party.
yeah.
You roasted a whole hog, the whole freaking hog.
Wow.
We did a crawfish boil. It's the only time. Let me tell you how much fun this is. It is the only time ever I've ever seen my wife drink, and I mean drink. And it was because, well, Skip was there, and Skip brought bottles.
Yeah, he brought some Scotch whiskey he got.
He brought scotch that was gifted to him by like some Highland lord at the Highland Games in Dallas. He's like, I was given this. I don't know if it's any good or not. So we killed it. We killed it. It was gone. And then Luther Googled it, and I was like, oh my god, we just drank like $1,500 in whiskey. And Skip's like, I don't care. I'm not gonna drink it. And I was like,
That's a classic Skip
I
story
feel
right
really
there.
bad here. And my wife's in the corner like, it was great. Like,
So at the last one, the whole hog, him and another guy left early, but I think we killed 7 bottles of liquor, not even counting beer.
Wow.
but it was a fun time. He has his.
That was great. I just don't.
He lives
remember
right
how I
up
got
right
home.
up the road here. It's like 12 minutes north, Itasca, right?
Carl's
Okay.
Corner.
Carl's Corner, whatever. Yeah, whatever.
Yeah, let's tell people my address.
I thought it
Just
was-
peep that. You know,
I thought it was Itasca on the address.
It's definitely still
It
Hillsboro,
is-
basically.
I mean, I live like Itasca's one road, Hillsboro's the other.
Oh, I got you. Well, it's not really a road. It's more like a bombing run facility.
Or at the moment, yeah.
Yeah, it's
Rivers
terrible
are running
roads.
through it currently.
Yeah.
So I'm going to tell you a story. Not a story necessarily. 'cause
You
it's
have to
very
come.
short.
That's before we move on. You have to come this year. Bring the wife. Bring the kids. My kids were running around playing in the dirt pile. It's a blast. We turn them loose in the field. My wife chased horses. That's how drunk she got.
Wow.
She was chasing the horses in the field. Like, I want to
Not our
pet
horses,
them.
by the way.
Not even their horses. And I'm like, please don't run into a barbed wire
The
fence.
neighbor's been redoing the fence for like 3 years now.
Gotcha.
Good
I
times.
have never in my life, and I don't plan to, eaten crawfish
Oh,
Why do
Because-
not
you
want
should.
to?
No, you should.
because I am adverse to eating bugs.
But that's fine. You don't
They-
play
they-
Helldivers then. I eat bugs for breakfast.
I need to get that. That is
crazy.
like fun. But crawfish to me,
So
little
it's
like-
the cockroaches
It's
of
the
the
same-
like mud bug
What's
world.
the same thing like lobsters and stuff? Like
Lobsters are
they're
the cockroaches
basically-
of the ocean.
They're basically insects. And
I don't like lobster. I will put that
Lobster's
out there.
okay. Crab though. Oh, love some crab.
I would straight up.
I'm looking at your face and it's just full.
You
of
don't like crab
disgust.
either? You were in the Air Force. Isn't that what you guys had for like lunch every day?
Well, I didn't eat it. It's just a bug.
Bro.
Did you ever see the videos where they crack open a crab and it's full of lice? Like the
Yeah, so cook it
sea
first.
lice.
You ever seen what happens
They
if you
pulled it out of
undercook?
the water.
Have
and
you
they
ever
had that.
seen what happens if you undercook? You ever seen pork undercooked? You ever seen this?
pork undercooked?
Okay, just next time, go to a grocery store, any grocery store. Go to his grocery store. I don't care. Go buy you any piece of pork. Just a piece of pork. Pork chop, whatever. Pork chops work. Take it home, set it on the counter, pour vinegar on it. And then just watch the things crawl out of it. I'm not playing with you.
No,
If
I don't.
every-
No, I totally. I
Do you know
acknowledge that
why you have to cook pork to 165 degrees?
because of parasites.
Because things will crawl out of it if you don't. It's living parasites. There's nothing wrong with that.
I know.
I'm not telling
Pork's
you
not 165.
whatever.
That's chicken.
What is it? What's pork?
Like 145.
Let's be safe. 160.
You
I
know
like
more about
You
cooking
can
these things
actually
than I
cook
do.
pork medium rare.
I like my chicken and my pork
Yes.
and my bacon like I like my humor dark. Okay, I don't want anything. I don't want any qualms. I grew up on a chicken farm. You'd
Stop
think
using
I
my word.
Yeah, you think I would be all like, "Oh yeah, this guy probably makes the best chicken ever." No, I burn the crap out of it.
Oh, chicken you have to cook at least to 165.
I cook it until I feel like, yeah, that looks safe. And then I go, 10 more minutes.
Just temp it.
Not safe enough.
Or you can eat dry ass chicken for the rest of your life. I don't
No,
care.
I like dry chicken.
Just put some ranch dressing on it.
You need to come have some. You need to have some crawfish. Now I will say this. So the first time that I, showed
I
up,
will enjoy the company.
There's
No.
more to eat than just the crawfish, though, because we'll do sides. There's
Will your wife eat
sausage,
crawfish?
Potatoes, corn.
I'm sure she will. She's weird.
does she, she's weird.
What, how many
She's
drinks
normal.
until you eat crawfish?
Huh?
How many drinks until you eat crawfish?
I've never seen you get white girl wasted. That would be fun.
Okay,
I was.
it's kind of hard not to at these things
Well,
because you're
hold
just
on.
getting.
First
He
of
did
all-
come to my Halloween party one year.
No,
Did
I
he
never
get
came to a
trashed?
Halloween party.
You never came to what
I came
was
to
that?
your birthday party. Oh, but you were
Wow,
too.
you're a
You were
bad
too.
host. You're bad.
Oh yeah. No, because you didn't get to come that year. It was year before last.
It was before they shut down.
Yeah, it was before
year before
COVID.
last.
Year before last. Before all of that. No, that's
it was
been
after
It's been like
COVID.
4 years. What are you talking about?
yeah,
That's like 2 years
seriously.
ago.
Yeah, 2 years ago. I went to the German restaurant up in. You didn't get to go. You had to work, and I was like, "Dude, it's cool. No worries. No worry. No worry. You missed out. It was dope." So we all showed up.
From what he remembers, it was pretty good.
So I show up, and I wasn't anticipating. Thank you. If I never told you, thank you for the beer, because I did not anticipate anybody buying me a beer. I didn't pay for a beer the whole night.
Bought you? Okay. You're
I have
welcome.
no idea if you did, who didn't. That's what I said. If I never told you,
I probably did. But
thank
you're
you. I think you did because, well, you and I probably don't remember much because you look like you were having a good time.
I enjoyed myself.
So I sat down. And we got there early because I said, my wife's like, "You're going to get there too early." I said, "I want to get there at least 45 minutes early, just because I want to make sure that I don't want a guest to arrive and not. I want to hang out with them."
Yeah.
Because like for my birthday every year, I don't care if you guys buy me a present. That's not what it's about. My birthdays, I just want to hang out with some people and have some drinks, eat some food. Because like here we are, 2 years later, still talking about it. That's what I want for my present, right?
Well, that restaurant was pretty awesome too. Like the food
And they're
was,
closed now.
Dude, I know.
But we need to go to the other one because there's another one.
Supposed to be another one in the Metroplex. That's really
Yeah, the Bavaria House. We need to go there. There's also one in College Station that is amazing.
Dude, I went to Fredericksburg like last month,
Yeah.
week before last. I mean, month before last.
You go down to Allstat.
No, everyone talks about Allstat. We went to Auslanders.
Well, that's for food.
Yeah.
Allstat's for beer.
Oh,
they
well,
don't
my
do
wife's
food.
not all about that. So I mean, we went to the food, and it was awesome.
Oh yeah. Oh,
I love Fredericksburg, dude. Like I could,
German people, terrible politics, terrible eugenics, great food.
Yes.
And beer.
and beer.
And
Like,
beer,
well, that's food.
Yeah,
If
it's
monks
technically
survive,
beer. Yeah, no,
if
I
monks
know.
survive off of just beer,
It's
then
it's
Yeah, I know.
basically liquid
It's-
bread.
It's bread. Yeah.
Yeah.
right. Actually, did you see? So I tragically, R.I.P. Did you see who died recently?
OJ.
That one too. I said tragically. That should have been a keyword.
I mean,
Patrick Swayze.
he
Now that's been years ago.
he's a Hall of Famer.
Yeah. Okay. Your Hall of Fame.
Who?
I
don't know.
Oh my God. Hold on. I'm drawing a blank
This
now.
is your story.
Yeah.
Hold on.
Wow.
Don't put the pressure on me. Don't put the pressure on me.
Talk about anticlimactic.
No.
Let down.
Crap. I've lost my complete train of
We
thought.
need
here.
like the Jeopardy music in the background. Like,
I don't have that queued up. I can cue up our theme
Well, I'll tell you
song.
what. We'll
but-
come back to it when you think about it.
No. Wait.
No, we
Back me up. Back me up. What was it?
Someone died recently. We were talking. Fuck. What were we talking about?
I don't know. Someone died recently. We're talking about German food,
Beer,
liquid bread,
Bread.
alcohol.
Liquid bread. And then you said someone died recently.
I'm out.
And you said OJ wasn't a Hall of Famer.
Your story sucks.
You said OJ, and that's what did it. That dude railed me. Now all I can think is like football players from the 1970s and that stupid movie where OJ Simpson faked the moon landing. And don't act like you don't know what I'm talking about.
Okay, but why is the
That'd
first
just be the moon
movie
landing
that
in
you
general.
thought of with OJ wasn't The Naked Gun?
No. Hold on. The guy that died recently,
What did he do?
Yeah,
Give
what-
us some context,
talking
please.
I don't remember now. Dang it. You said OJ and my mind went completely blank. I am not that drunk. I literally cannot remember what it was because you said OJ and now I'm thinking
Pour
of
one out
football
for your
players.
homie.
Capricorn 1. A 1978
1970s.
British, hold on, cut to me. 1978 British produced American thriller film.
How do you have a British produced American thriller film?
And this was him. Hold on. Wait, hold on. Hold on. I'm going to move this over
Unremembered.
and we're going to hit this button here. We're going to show everybody. This was O.J. Simpson playing Walker in the 1978
Well, no wonder you couldn't remember.
Moonland. I like old movies.
They're usually black and white.
Well, it's
They're
called,
not always black and white. My wife hates black
well,
and
it's
white.
called
movies.
unremembered. So no wonder.
It's called Capricorn 1.
Yeah, but it says unremembered right there.
It's an unremembered movie. So basically,
But
the entire
obviously-
premise of the movie was O.J. Simpson fakes the moon landing, like he's one of the actors of the moon landing, and then they learn that the plan is that they're not going to survive, so they're going to be killed off. Well, they figure that out, and they're like, "Well, we're going to escape." So while the rest of America thinks they're on the surface of the moon, he and the other two astronauts are like running for their lives through the desert and get like found by people who are like, "Hey, aren't you supposed to be on the moon?"
Do you ever watch independent movies?
Yes.
There was one that came out. It's probably been like 15 years. There's two that I really like, but this one was called Moon. You ever seen Moon?
Yes, that's with oh
no,
god, I can't think of his name, but he's on the
Not the
he's
first name you can't think of.
is it where he's a Colne at the end?
SCO. Yes.
Yes.
Yes,
Yeah, yeah.
yes,
I don't know
yes.
why I spelled that. It's
What about-
somebody watching the show is not going to figure that out, but
Yeah.
that's amazing.
It's a really good movie. What about The Man
What,
from
what-
Earth?
hold on, what was he in though? Hold on, that's going to bug me. The actor.
I don't know if he was in anything else.
Hold on.
What
God,
the
if only I had a.
Yeah, here we go.
You're
again.
very forgetful.
Going down
today.
this rabbit hole.
No, I'm not forgetful.
All
I just
caps too.
yeah, it was in 2009. That's the guy. Astronaut
cast.
Sam Bell.
Just hit cast right there.
Oh, hey, there's a cast button.
Yeah. Oh, Kevin Spacey.
Sam Rockwell.
What else was he in?
He was in Argyle, which I have not
Oh,
seen.
the Green Mile.
Oh.
The
okay.
Green Mile. Jojo Rabbit, great movie.
So he was in some bigger
He was
movies.
in Iron Man.
Really?
He was in Moon.
Yeah,
Charlie's
well,
Angels.
Charlie's Angels. Okay.
You know what I just started watching last night, which I'm going to finish tonight after we're done. You need to go watch it, like right now. The Ungentlemanly Warfare movie.
Oh, fantastic
I've
movie.
heard,
I've seen it twice already.
I've heard
Yeah.
that was okay.
It's Inglorious B word.
You know what is?
I'm trying to keep it
You
PG.
know what is absurdly good? Shogun.
Oh, Shogun's fantastic.
Already
good.
watched it, and you know the best thing about that show that I did not know?
What?
It's not in Japanese. Okay? No, hold on.
I'm pretty sure I've watched that. There was a lot
Did
of
we watch
Japanese
the
in it.
same Shogun?
No, hold on. Wait. It's not in modern Japanese.
Oh yeah.
So-
okay, sure, yeah.
That is like, I mean, I can't appreciate it because I don't speak Japanese, but like the actors that were in it, that is like 15th century, like top tier.
Wow.
The way that they're speaking in that movie, it's not Japanese. It's like eccentric Japanese.
Well, apparently they're creating another season and they have to go off
They
the
weren't
book.
See, I heard they canceled it. Did they
No,
actually?
so they weren't going to because they finished the book. They did what
God,
they're supposed to.
it's so
but
good.
they
It's
had
so
so
good.
many people complaining about it. I think they greenlit season
Complaining?
2 and 3.
They had a
Well, they
lot of
won't- it's
people
gonna
that
have the
did
same
not like
problem.
that movie. There was a lot of people that did not like it, or
Why?
series, whatever.
Why?
I don't know, but the critics did not like it.
Oh,
the
the
people
critics are
watching the
stupid. Who cares
show,
about
I'm like,
What is there not to like?
I sat there watching. I'm like, this is fantastic.
Yeah.
Like,
Because it was
But it's going to have the same issue if they make another season. It's
I
gonna have
never read
same
the books,
problem.
but I,
they're not going to have any material.
No, it's going to be like Game of Thrones.
Yeah.
Where,
ooh.
well, it's already been compared to Game of
You
Thrones.
mean House of Dragons?
No.
Like we have no more material. What are we gonna do? Make it up.
Exactly. They're going to make it up and it's going to be awful.
I don't know. That last
Hey.
season of Game of Thrones should not have been made.
Exactly.
Like,
The last 2 seasons were kind of.
I haven't watched any of House of Dragons. Is it that bad?
I don't know. Can I be full disclosure? I haven't seen any of it.
Oh
But-
no, you
but
should watch
I've
it.
heard it's.
You
No,
should watch
because
it.
I was waiting till the whole season, till the whole series came out.
Just don't watch the last
and
season.
then everyone's
you're
like,
fine.
"Well, what's the point then?"
Season 1's
Well,
a porno.
it's like watching it- it's like watching
put
an
that out
anime.
there
They
right now.
all they. So it has been a long time since I saw it, and I'm gonna say long time is in like
Saw.
puberty. Okay.
Since you've seen it,
Since
What
he
did
saw
I,
it.
what did I say? Saw it.
Saw.
you saw.
I'm from
Since you saw
Texas.
it.
It's saw it.
You done seen it.
You guys leave me alone.
I done seen it.
I told my wife she was like, what's the TV shows that you like remember watching like way back in the day? Like, it had been a long time since I saw it. Okay,
Thank you for dropping the L.
you're welcome. I
We have
hadn't
an
watched.
educator here.
Yeah, I hadn't watched. My mother was a teacher. English, grammar.
Homeschool.
No, she substituted at the high school and then came home and yelled at me.
Oh,
Okay, like, I can't tell you. Like to this day, my kids say stuff, and I just like out of cringe, just start yelling at them like grammar correction, and they're like, "What are you doing?" And I'm like, "It's me, not I," or vice versa, or whatever it is.
So are your kids allowed to hit you when you do this crap?
I mean, playfully.
Okay.
Yeah. No. Anyway, the dang it, why do you sidetrack me, man? Like I was totally on point here. You guys.
you're killing us, man.
No, I had like a whole thought process down there.
Well, where did it go?
Okay,
done.
well, let's backtrack.
I'm gonna be quiet now for the rest of
Let's backtrack.
the rest of the entire episode. I'm not paying any attention.
We're talking about House of Dragon or whatever.
Yeah.
Game of
No,
Thrones.
that was like 5 minutes ago.
No,
Like,
yeah,
after
because-
that.
because you're building up for this cool thing you're going to talk about that you forgot about.
Because you're saying you saw it.
No. I know what it is. My wife and I were talking about episodes, and I said, like, I hadn't seen Spartacus Blood and Sands in a long time.
That's good.
Right? Okay, well, so I remember it for the, like, conflict side of it. Like, I was like, oh, yeah, the choreography was really cool. And I'm talking it up for, like, the weekend. I'm like, Spartacus Blood and Sands. Like, so we get, like, 8 minutes into the first episode. She goes, see why you like this show? And I was like, I don't remember any of this. She's like, sure you don't. So that's when I warn people when they start Game of Thrones, I'm like, I'm with you. You have to warn people right off the bat.
My favorite TV show of all time is Scrubs.
Really?
Love Scrubs.
No,
I don't want no Scrubs.
Scrub is a guy can't get no love off me.
Scrubs is a fantastic show.
It is a good show, but okay, you got to understand. Did you ever work in healthcare?
No.
It's a terrible show.
You're telling me out of all the TV shows in existence, Scrubs is
Even
your
better
favorite?
than Cheers.
Cheers sucked.
Cheers.
Cheers sucked.
Care about Cheers? Better than How I Met Your Mother, Friends.
Friends sucks ass.
Friends is good, dude.
Bleep that.
Hold on. Let me tell you my philosophy between Friends and How I Met Your Mother. This is really great. So anybody that's like my teenage daughter, she's 16. I told her like, she needs to start watching Friends. And my wife goes, oh my God, no. That's all like, sex and relationships and stuff. It's like,
Friends?
yeah, Friends. Absolutely. Sex and relationships.
You know how many times they got it on?
It should have been called Friends with Benefits. That should have been the name of the show.
That
Like,
is so rated G.
no, it's not.
Friends? Yes, it is.
Well,
dude.
I mean,
It is
it's
so
rated
tame.
G, but I mean, like,
But
it's
they never
about that.
showed anything.
It's about that
It's all
stage in your
implied.
life. That's what I mean. It's about that stage in your life, right? It's about people that are approaching their 20s or are in their 20s, right? Because when you're 20, I don't know about y'all, I went to coffee shops. That's where I went. I went to coffee shops.
I grew up on a gravel road. We didn't have coffee shop.
I was stationed at
Chicken
Idaho. They didn't have
farmer.
coffee.
They had corn
They had corn.
or potatoes out there. My bad.
Yeah, it was
Idaho, yeah.
potatoes. Idaho's potatoes. Yeah, but it was
No,
mostly
but
they mostly grew dirt where I was at.
Were they
What I
good at it?
mean is like those are about the shows. It's like young relationships, young love. You dump somebody, but you stay friends with them. That doesn't happen at our age,
They were
right?
all
Hold on, like
middle-aged.
no. But I'm saying at our age, if you dump someone, they're not in your contacts, let alone the people you hang out with. When you're in your 20s, it's like, oh yeah, me and my friend dated for a while. We're still friends. That doesn't happen in your 30s. That doesn't happen in your 40s. That's just not a thing. So How I Met Your Mother is for once we started getting to the age where we needed a drink. Like that to me is the whole, that's literally why it takes place in a bar. Friends, it's all about your relationships and people having babies and people getting married. How I Met Your Mother starts, they're already married.
Some of them. I'll be.
But wait, hold on. And then it starts dealing with things like when you get older and your parents pass away. That's How I Met Your Mother. It's about that next stage in life.
Yeah,
I want the
yeah.
next show after that. That's
see
what I'm
that.
waiting on. We had Friends. We had How I Met Your Mother. Now I want like,
Didn't they make a new series on after How I Met Your Mother?
well, then yes, that's How I Met Your Father. It's not great.
Oh yeah,
It's
is it still
okay.
in? Is it still on?
It is still a thing, but I'm sorry if you're gonna put Hillary Duff in something, I'm not interested.
She's still around.
She's still around,
Oh
and
my
she's
goodness.
just as bad.
How I Met You. I haven't watched it since.
They made a spinoff of Friends too.
Did they?
Yeah, it's called Joey. That's a whole.
Oh,
there's a
yeah,
whole
I remember
series. Yeah,
Joey, yeah.
There's a whole like 2
Probably
seasons.
the one good person on the show.
Yeah.
I love Joey.
But
Joey doesn't share food. I use that at least once a week.
I only watched How I Met Your Mother one time, like the whole way through. But it's still it's my favorite sitcom. I just really thoroughly enjoyed it. Like it was so funny.
Was it Legend?
Dairy?
Wait for it.
Yes,
Dairy.
it was good.
You have no idea what I'm talking about. do you?
I know what I know.
Okay, I just checking.
I don't think he does.
I feel like you're the Barney Stinson of our friends group. Like we love you,
Yeah, but I'm
but
not.
you're kind of odd.
Okay, I'm not a womanizer and I'm not rich,
But other than that,
and I don't own a suit.
ooh, no, then you can't be
Yeah,
Barney.
that's a whole.
That's a
deal breaker.
disqualifier right there.
Yeah. Wow. Well, run that. Let it go.
I ruin a lot of things.
Same
Cheers.
here. Cheers to that. Yeah.
You go across here. No, I think as far as like TVs, well, that one kind of hit a little rough.
Wrong pipe.
Oh yeah, that'll do it. Wait, let's get the red face, the Scotch face going there.
It's been red. It's warm in here.
Yeah, warm. Are you guys
Is
hot?
it? I'm comfy.
I'm comfy right now. Are you okay?
and I'm layered.
My face is warm.
You are wearing layers today.
He's a youth pastor. He even has the anime shirt on.
Yeah. Star Wars, actually.
Star Wars. Oh, it is Boba.
It's a anime Star Wars.
Bulba.
Bulba?
What is it with you and L's?
That's Boba Fett.
Bulba? Like the T with the little balls in it?
No,
That doesn't even have an L in it.
that doesn't have an L. That's Bobo.
It's Bulba.
I don't know, whatever the heck it is. My daughters like that stuff. I don't know how to drink that.
Bulba.
If I took a drink of something and something solid flies into the back of my mouth, we're gonna have problems. Like I'm telling you right no, like when you're
What are you
drinking
talking about?
the tea, you drink into the thing, and one of the little balls like gags you in the back of your throat. You're like, what the hell?
Keep the tongue on the roof of your mouth.
How about keep the crap out of my tea and I don't have to worry about it?
How about get some culture?
Yeah.
I have culture. I don't want
you
balls
fancy.
floating in my tea.
It's fancy.
Not fancy. That is literally street food in like
2024?
Vietnam.
You have to be okay with balls in your tea.
No. That's where I draw the line. No. Speaking of which, today is January.
No, it's not.
This is not January. June. Sorry. Whatever. No. Shut up.
First of all, it's an entire
January.
month. It's not today either.
No. What I was getting at was, so this is June, which, as we all know, is
National Dairy Month.
it is National Dairy Month. That's why we started off with yogurt.
There we
Did
go.
you know that?
I did not.
And if it's not
Frozen Month, just let you know.
if it's not National Dairy Month, what else is it? I did not know this. Like, I feel bad for not knowing this.
June's a lot of things.
I did not know that June's a lot of things. Do you know what it originally was? Like going way back when?
My birthday.
I'm assuming you're gonna tell us.
I did not know your birthday was in June.
Yeah, June birthday.
Happy early birthday. What is this, like 25?
Yes, we'll go with that. I'll be 41.
Dang, really?
Whoa.
No, I wouldn't have thought.
Whoa.
I thought you were the same age as me.
Are you 41?
No,
Then no.
but
I'm in the wrong age group.
You're like
we still claim you.
25, dude.
I'm not 25.
How old are you?
You wait. How old do you think I am?
You think he's 25?
You're like mid
I
30s.
wish I was 25. I'm late 30s.
Late 30s?
Late 30s.
How old are you?
I round up to
I
40.
turned
Let's put it that
29
way.
This month.
29?
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, because you were a 90,
95.
95, yeah. He's older than my wife.
Yeah, he robbed the cradle.
I did not.
Straight
not.
up. He went out to the hospital and said, "This one."
This is all getting cut.
Wow.
No, I did not.
Don't cut it.
No, June. What I was trying to get back to. June is actually
You actually remember?
yes. It is not January. It is June. Do you need a pen? I used to have a pen.
Yeah. Got a pin over there?
No, it is National.
You know, I told myself I was going to bring one with me, but I left it in the car.
Yeah.
It is National Men's Mental Health Month.
Oh, yeah. I'll do that.
I did not know that, and I feel quite ashamed to not have known that. But it is National Men's Mental Health Awareness Month, and I did not know that the statistic for the worldwide. We can cut all of this. I don't really care, but the statistic worldwide is that 14,000 men per day, per week commit suicide. And I was like, man, that I feel like that needs some actual attention. I think that a big part of that is that people don't have this. They don't have. It's like community. It's conversation. It's acceptance for who you are, or just
to
having
talk
fun. Someone to talk to. I think that legitimately, if anything, podcasting is allowing people that work night shift or don't have a friend space to reach out to some other people and talk to some people, or feel like, oh wow, there's a group for me. I think video games did that for me when I was younger, because I always thought I was weird. I didn't think I was like a cool kid. I didn't play sports. I didn't do any of that kind of stuff. So having video games was that for me.
Yeah.
And I think that's what the modern day like podcast does for the next people. It's like they can point. There's a group for everybody. There's an anime group. There's something.
Crash Bandicoot really helped you open up, didn't it?
I never played that game. I actually hated Crash Bandicoot.
I was an extremely, not that I had a reason to be, I was an extremely unhappy teenager.
Really?
I'll talk
I
here.
always pictured you as being like the class clown.
No, I was very quiet. I didn't talk to anybody. I had like no friends in like high school, and I'm not exaggerating. I talked to maybe one guy, and he just kind of.
What was
The
his
guy
name?
in the back reading.
We're gonna find him. We're gonna bring him on.
Anyway,
If you were friends with Justin
Anyway.
in,
anyway,
it's just like Kindergarten.
Golden.
1972.
It was like 19. It was the 90s. Okay. It was high school.
It was the 90s. What year? 1990.
No, it was like 90, 99 and all that. 97, 98. Anyway, GoldenEye,
Oh
the
yeah.
64,
Yeah.
and like the Final Fantasy games on SNES.
I never
Chrono
got, I
Trigger,
never
all
got
that
into
stuff.
Final Fantasy. but
That is
yes, GoldenEye.
that is what helped me. That's what helped me to focus myself away from how unhappy I was. And
Really?
oh yeah, yeah.
So I
And-
grew up playing video games with my brothers. Like that was my thing. But I grew up in the 2-player generation. So like we had an N64 later in life.
Yeah.
But I grew up with the NES. We had 2 players.
Oh,
So
SNES.
three brothers, 2 controllers. That sucked.
But I think for
I
a lot of
remember
guys,
when,
like you're spot on. That's what a lot of guys use to disassociate themselves with the things that.
Well, sure. Well, and by the end of our at the end of our work day, you work all day, you get around to 5 o'clock. Now it's not free time. It's not even family time. It's okay, honeydews. What do I need to get done before the weekend? It's do I need? I hope most people nowadays are a part of something. Do I have? I mean, I know like you go to I can't even think of it. Like city
a lot of
meetings.
things, yeah.
Yeah, you do city meetings. You're on like some council stuff for your local community. I know, like you, Tyler, you go to city meetings and stuff because of like being a business guy. I thought you went to a couple of things because you told me about it,
We're part of the board, but like
Chamber of Commerce stuff.
Yeah.
That's what I mean. Like most men are,
not that I want to.
but those are considered free time events, right? Because you're not getting paid to go to that.
I'm salary, so technically.
Okay, well, but I mean, like, there's lots of little event things that people go to. Like, even when I have time off, I'm not in any way saying I don't enjoy this. I want to preface this. Like, I'm not saying I don't enjoy it, but my free time is mainly taken up with taking kids to baseball games, taking kids to soccer games, football games, basketball games, going to any number of events that my daughter's in, because you and I have talked about this extensively, Justin and I. My daughter's in the Air Force Auxiliary, so those are 4-hour meetings because it's half an hour drive there, a 3-hour meeting, and a half an hour drive back.
Jeez.
That's a 4-hour meeting.
They need to streamline those meetings, man.
It's the military; they can't streamline it.
Oh yeah. Fair enough.
Gotta
But
say.
that's a 4-hour day. That's a half a day. When people say, "Oh, I took a half day today," that's a half a day of work on top of I work that day, and then I go do that. So I think there's a big part of people that don't have anything to I don't want to say relieve stress. Life as a man isn't necessarily stressful. It's just you don't have this. I think more and more people are gravitating away because they don't have the time. I don't have a weekend to dedicate to going to play golf. I wished I did. I think it would be fun, but I don't have that.
That's
it would be
why-
relaxing.
That's why you have groups like
Communities.
the old Halo groups where like they sit in
See, I miss
and
that.
they talk crap to each other, or like hell divers, or I assume.
Oh.
Anytime you get guys together, we're talking crap to each other. right?
Helldivers, the best thing about it is you spend half the time accidentally killing your own teammates.
Well, maybe
I mean,
usually 'cause you
like-
suck.
No.
Yeah, accidentally.
How many?
You're
like,
fighting
500
giant
kilogram
bugs.
bombs
How
have
you
dropped on me?
accidentally?
Hey, it's not my fault. You're bright and colorful.
But anyway, but historically, guys had groups, right?
Yeah.
And these are groups. You're still paying for it, right? You get your online services and everything.
Sure.
But this is why you have to have something, and it's rough, right? Because like you said, you come home from work, you get in the door, and
I work from
immediately
home and it's still rough because as soon as I clock out, it's like,
you got a whole honeydew list.
Exactly.
And it's like, dude, I don't talk about work at home.
I don't get the 30 minutes of like driving home in traffic to even decompress.
Yeah.
I'm gonna be honest, guys. I'm a bachelor, and it's pretty great.
No, it's not. But the
fair.
point is,
Throw
the
those
point is,
actors out there.
this is what men are missing in the world today is they don't have an opportunity to let down their hair. Is that too sexist of a term? I don't mean that sexistly, but
I did have a comment I wanted to make. I want to go back to men's health real quick.
please,
Because
it's
you're talking
June
about-
Mental Health Month.
You're talking about this. Men spend most of their time with their wives or significant others.
Mm-hmm.
You cannot, if you're married, you cannot, and you can argue with me on this, but I stand by this. You cannot let yourself ever be vulnerable
Oh,
in
100%.
front
No.
of your wife or significant other.
I
And
cried in front of my wife one time. I'm not. I'm
amazed-
going to be. I'm
and
going to
I'm
be
not
100%
trying to be a
honest.
jerk. I'm amazed she didn't leave you. Right?
I'm not going to lie. No, I 100% know exactly where you're going with this. I cried in front of my wife one time, and it was it was bad, right? Like I worked in healthcare. It was a bad time. Okay, I came home. I cried in front of my wife. She didn't look at me right for a week.
Yeah.
Nothing against her. I don't judge her. I don't fault her. And I came to her later and I said, I'll never do that again. And she's like, no, it's okay. You can
not
do that.
okay.
You can be vulnerable. And
No.
100%. Here's what I told her. I said, no. And she said, why? I said, because who would you go to?
Exactly.
I'm like, I have to be the tower. 100%. That is a very deep thing. Because
It is. And I think a lot of guys don't have that, and that's why they break.
when my brother passed away, I came home, and my wife goes, "How are you okay?" I said, "I'll be okay." And she's like, "But how are you okay?" I was like, "Because I'm around you." And she's like, "That's not fair." And I was like, "No, it's not. But that's not your fault, and it's not mine. Like, I'll be okay." And he and we've had some moments. Tyler and I have had some moments together where I'm like, I got to let down the armor. I feel like if you don't have the right guy to let that down around, but no, 100%, you cannot let that. You can let that. Oh, you cannot let that down around her.
No, I agree.
And
agree.
and
Well,
on top of that, there's another person to that. I have daughters.
Yeah.
100%. I would rather cry in front of my wife than cry in front of my daughter. And it's because like it doesn't matter what happens in her life, she needs to know that
You're her rock.
it's more than that even. I agree. I'm not trying to like shortchange what you mean. Like it is like you're her rock. You have to be more.
You can't have any
Nothing can
evidence
phase you.
whatsoever of any kind of weakness.
Yeah.
At all. At all.
And I know that there's going to be people that listen to this. There's going to be 50-50, right? You're either going to have people that listen to this and be like, oh, that's so old school thinking and everything else. Great. I'm glad that you live in a society or an area or you have a support group that's not true or for you. But I'm sorry, I don't live in that reality.
No, I'll say this. Cry in front of your wife and don't complain to us about your divorce.
100%. 100%. No, I agree with you. Because like, no, what it's not like a alpha male, beta male. Like you and I were talking about this the other day. It was like, you know, people pick like specific social media influencers that are like super, super macho guys. It's not a macho thing. No. I don't know how else to put it to people. Like, I think everybody thinks that emotional reaction from men has to be a alpha, beta. And it's not it. You have to be capable. What's the old adage? It's I'd rather be a warrior in a garden than a gardener in a war, right? I feel like that's the way. I'm not trying to call myself a warrior, but I feel like that's the way women have to be.
You still have to be stoic.
You have to be stoic. Women, every woman says, "Oh, I love this Hallmark movie where this man became in touch with his sensitive side, and he had candy apples that he donated."
They don't want that to actually happen.
Look at
No. They want that to happen, but they don't want to wake up tomorrow with that.
Don't look at what a person says. Look at what they do. A woman may say, "Oh, that's so sweet. I like that," but then she ditches her sweet boyfriend and goes for the jerk.
For the jerk riding a motorcycle with a leather jacket and 100%.
It's already cheated on her 3 or 4 times.
You want to know something deep? I don't care if this gets cut out or not. I don't think it should be, honestly. And I mean this. My wife and I were talking about this, and I said, nice guys finish last. And she goes, oh, that's not a thing. And I said, yes, it is. And she said, why? Because we're married. And I'm going to tell you something. That is the epitome. You know who you marry? The nice guy. Right? Like, and she's like, oh, so you're saying, I'm like, yes, you dated jerks. I mean, like, right? Why did you not marry them? Oh, they were jerks. Then why did you date them? Well, they were jerks. I'm like, so you're admitting, like, you dated them because they were jerks. She's like, well, I'm like, no, I don't blame you. I don't fault you. I mean, heck, I was married before. Okay. Like, I mean, I get it, but that is a big, nice guys finish last. Why? Because in the end, that's what you kind of want, but you can't ever be the nice guy after that.
Biologically,
and then they want to know why we change.
It makes the most sense biologically. You want, as a female, you
sure.
want the guy, the nice
Protector,
guy.
provider, sure.
Let's go back to the Vikings, right? The nice guy is going to get.
It's my Viking horn in the background there.
Fairly certain
The nice
speech
guy
over here.
is going to have his farm going in England or whatever, and he's going to get overrun by Viking, and he's just going to get just slaughtered by them.
Yeah.
Right. As opposed to the Viking himself, if she marries or aligns herself or whatever with the Viking guys,
Right.
they're and we'll go and use the term, they're the alphas of the region.
Oh, 100%.
They are the top of the food chain.
And there's nothing that
it's-
says that you can't be the alpha and be the nice guy. Like, I mean, there was a no, hold on. There was,
be. No.
yes, you can't. Yes, you can. Hold on.
No.
There was
No.
this,
I don't really have a
I'm going to defend this.
an argument.
No.
here.
No, hold on. I'm going to defend this. There was a fantastic interview, if I can find it. There was a Navy SEAL, and he was talking about what it meant to have that. I'm not calling myself a Navy SEAL. There was this guy talking about his personality, and he said, you need to be the person who can extend his hand to a stranger's grandmother and say, do you need a hand across the street? And without hesitation, they give you their hand. You need to be soft in appearance, tone, and capabilities to be able to go to the most poor, penniless person that needs help and be like, can I help you? Right? Like me, I don't think of myself
I
as
don't
being
think that's being soft or anything.
no, well, hold on. He's like, you have to be able to say to that stranger's grandma, may I offer you a hand? And you don't look terrifying or scary. You don't look like a Hell's Angels
Yeah.
biker, right?
No, I'm not saying that.
But he goes, when you get across the street, you need to be able to defend her with your life, and in a second, flip personalities that not only would whoever wanted to harm her be terrified of you, she would be too.
So I'm not suggesting be a jerk, and I'm not suggesting be like some intimidating, like
No, we're the nice guy.
tattooed. But I'm saying like you can't show weakness around people.
Oh, no.
And we're mainly talking about like wives and stuff, but you can't show the weakness. You just can't.
Well, I mean, like you're of dating age, right? You're not married, but like you get what we mean. It's like
Yeah.
if you're going to date somebody, obviously you have to present strong masculine tones or whatever. We're not getting into all of that. Like, but you have to be able to say like, oh look, I'm a safe bet. I'm a strong provider, whatever else. You and I both know what's the term nowadays for like the people pleaser version of dating guys. It's not the alpha. It's the
Betas,
no. It's worse than
the
that.
people pleaser.
No, yeah. But it's the
Oh,
no. Hold on, the simp.
The simp. Okay.
Right?
Oh,
No. So I didn't know that was a thing. I did not know that was a thing. My wife is the one who told me that expression because I said something about it. Because I said one day, I'm like, you just want me to worship you. She's like, no, I don't want you to be some simp. I was like, I don't know what you're talking about. She's like, somebody was like, do anything I want. She's like, I want somebody that stands up to me. I want somebody that, because I mean, that's a partnership. Marriage is
Yeah.
a partnership. I don't want to be a pushover. I don't want her to be a pushover. Here I am out in the garage hanging out with my friends having a podcast. And I tell her, you need to tell me if this goes too far. Right? And she's like, no, I want you to have your fun with your friends. You don't quote have a group. You don't get out and get to go do that stuff. And I told her, I'm like, yeah, but if it's interfering with us, you got to talk to me about it.
Yeah.
I think that's the part that most relationships are lacking in today is they're not on equal footing. That's a really good point though. I keep coming back to that in my head.
Most of my points are.
No, but like, yes, they are. I don't mean
I would
that.
say that for those listening, starting off, subscribe first of all because all my points are good points.
Justin's always right.
Hashtag Justin's right. No, I mean like, I think it's. I'm trying to think. Let me put this in.
And this isn't from like a masochist point of view. Like I'm not.
No,
like,
I think
I'm not
that's-
like women are. It's not like women are inferior or anything like that. Because
Well, if you go
because
over the
both-
Judeo-Christian level, it's like
No, I'm
women are the
not.
weaker vessel and everything
No,
else.
that's not where
I
I'm
don't
going.
believe that. I don't
Both-
believe it.
Both sexes are equal, and they
100%.
But they
And
play different.
incapable of existing without each other.
They are capable of existing without each
Yeah.
other. But when they exist together, they have to. It's just like you and I. Like you have strengths, and I have weaknesses. And I have
100%.
strengths, and you have weaknesses. We have to.
100%.
We have to supplement one another in overcome those
It's the circle of podcast life.
circle of podcast life, right? It's the same thing with marriage. Like your mate, regardless of their sex, regardless of what sex is listening to this, they will have weaknesses. that you,
Hey,
as the opposite sex,
this
will
is
overcome.
even true of a homosexual couple or a lesbian couple.
No,
100%.
You're
You
right.
have to have two people that are willing to bend to each other's differences and benefits for each other.
And honestly,
100%.
I think that's why people come together to get married, because they fall in love, if you don't say that, but they also
I
have
prefer the term fall in love. When they come together to get married, it just sounds bad. It's like, you wanna?
They have
dual income.
they have traits.
Yeah, dual income, no kids. Let's
They have
do
traits
it.
that complement the other's traits, right?
100%.
Opposites attract.
When people
basically.
exactly when people talk about, I met my soulmate, my first endeavor is, so you found the people you can't get this out. When people say they found their soulmate, my favorite thing to say is, you found the person that magnifies all of your successes and minimize all of your flaws.
There you go.
Because my wife is a fastidious clean freak, an organizational. Oh, God, I can't even talk. Organizational freak.
We know.
Right? That is her thing. Guess what I lack in? I'm not like a dirty person, but I if I walk over the floors, I'm like, I'll sweep that tomorrow. No, she's going to sweep it right now. When it comes to organization, everything in that pantry in my house has a place. If you go in there and move something, she'll notice. I'm telling you right now. She gets annoyed I put stuff in the fridge on the wrong shelf.
Don't test that.
No. Please don't. Please don't. She'll be irritated.
Let's go rearrange his fridge.
But hold on. Here's the funny thing. My wife, the worst scheduler or planner I've ever met in my life. And she'll get mad. She'll listen to this later and she'll be like,
She'll do that.
She'll be like, I can't believe you called me out like that.
Yeah.
And I'm like, no, you suck at planning. She's like, why? I'm like, your version of going on vacation is step 1, book vacation. Step 2, go on vacation.
That's how my wife is with maps.
Hold on.
Step 1, leave house. Step
No,
2,
no.
arrive where we're going.
We'll be like driving somewhere and like, tell me where the exit is. She'll pull up on Google Maps and stare at it.
Same. Yep, that's my wife.
Like some obscure
My
like
wife's
Egyptian
like,
text.
You have 9 tenths, 8
was like,
tenths,
yeah.
7 tenths. I'm like, you could just say next exit. I'm
Me,
good
I
with
can
that.
I can look at a map. Granted, I play a lot of games in my life with maps, but I can look at a map.
Is that where it's really from for us? Like,
Maybe.
I look at it, I'm like, oh, there's a ridge line over there.
Yes.
Like,
Well, I think it's also
when I see that
my kids-
canyon,
I
I'll
think that
find
thing where
it.
we can't really ask someone for help too. I think. Builds
No,
that.
I don't believe in that. The whole men don't ask for directions.
the
We
other
ask
day,
for directions all the time.
my kids were playing Minecraft, and my youngest was playing, and he got lost. And so
He didn't have coordinates turned on.
no, he's young. He
That's
can't read numbers anyway.
cheating.
But I was like, okay, well, look at this canyon. Based
Yeah.
off this canyon, I
Follow
know.
your way home.
Yeah, and it was from a totally different perspective. It was like, that is like the canyon I saw earlier, so the village has to be there.
Yeah,
My wife can look
coastline.
at it. She'll look at it and be like, I have no clue where you're at. What is this?
Yeah.
What is it?
Women have no sense of direction anyway.
No. It's,
My wife could be staring into the sun in the evening and go, which way's north?
I,
Not always. Like, I don't mean like, and so funny again, my wife would be like, oh, you're calling me stupid. No, I'm not. You do not have that gift. If I needed to plan a last minute party, do not call my wife. Okay. If you need to have your house cleaned for like an end of service, what is it, ETS, like military inspection, you're turning in your barracks, you don't want to pay your deposit, call my wife. I guarantee you your house will be spotless. But no.
my buddy's wife could get lost in a 2-story house. Like she's bad.
My wife has a very good sense of direction. She flew planes. Okay, so she can use a map. She knows what she's doing. She knows directions. But I think a lot of times she just kind of like doesn't care enough to notice. And here's another thing. You know what? Here's what's really fun.
It's a map.
I want to know
It doesn't matter
something.
how much you care. It's a map.
It's a map. No, like legitimately here. Hold on. Does your wife like care when it comes to? Do you have to pick everything? I want to know. Like you were talking earlier about like oh, don't show weakness, right? Okay, and I believe in that. But like, my wife has this infatuation with me picking what movie we're gonna watch, what we're gonna have for dinner. And I'm not gonna say I'm a pacifist.
Oh
I'm just-
yeah, I just pick everything.
but like I don't care. And she always comes back to,
No.
is it because I'm the baby of the family that I like that I come back to that? Because like for her, she's like, what are we gonna have for dinner? And I'm like, here's the thing that bugs me. She already knows what I want for dinner.
It used to bug me.
Because like there's like 3-4 meals that I love and she hates all of them. All of them. Like my favorite 3 meals are probably her least favorite. So when she's like, "What do you want for dinner?" I'm like, "I don't care. You pick."
My wife used to, she still does, but used to early in a relationship. She'd ask me, "Where do you want to eat?" Or I come to bed and we watch TV. What do you want to watch? And we spin this thing where we're like discussing it for like 10 minutes.
Preach, brother Justin.
I just
Preach.
pick.
Yeah.
I just pick.
And then she hates it.
But she'll tell me. I'll be like, Taco Bell. She's like, I don't want to go to Taco Bell. Okay, this.
Oh my God, that's the worst.
But I'm
dude,
not-
when she's like, "I don't care, whatever you want." I'm like, "Let's take a pizza." "Oh, we had pizza the other day." I'm like,
Did you do care?
"So Taco Bell?" "No, I had tacos yesterday." Like,
You just pick, man. Just pick something.
so have you seen
she's
that
wanting-
TikTok trend?
She's wanting you
It's
to
dominance.
lead.
It's yeah,
She's wanting
absolutely.
you to lead.
It is
Just lead.
100%.
It's same thing like an organization. Like, well, what do you want to do? What do you want? Just direct.
Are you
Just
taking
lead.
notes?
Just lead.
I'm fine.
You should take notes. Take notes.
Okay.
This
Take
is
notes.
no. This
Yes,
is
dear.
this is not like sitting from like a military perspective. This is not like guys telling you like war theory. This is guys like you're in the trenches.
We're already
This is-
there, baby.
Yeah, this is like
We have
this
the
is,
Purple
this
Hearts.
is what you do when you hear this. This is what you do with this.
Have you ever been yelled at and cussed at for picking the wrong thing for dinner?
talking military still or just
No, I'm talking. This is
I've been yelled at and cussed at. But
this
not
is
for picking the
this
wrong
is
thing for
married
dinner, no.
life. Have you ever been yelled at for picking the wrong thing for dinner when you were asked what you want for dinner? Have you?
Yes.
You really have to think about that.
Right around the time.
No, he had to think about whether or not he wanted to answer that.
Or cut
Yeah.
it.
No, and here's the thing. I don't fault them. I don't fault my wife one. I don't fault her one bit. She wants me to pick, but like, you know my wife. My wife is one of these people.
We met.
Yes. It's so funny to me. I get, oh, I love this. I love teasing her about this. She always teases me all the time. She's like, "You don't ever care." I'm like, no. When I say you pick,
you don't
that
ever
does not-
listen.
I'm like, that, oh my God. We really do know each other. Yeah. I'm like, I don't ever tell her. The answer is, I don't care. Does not mean I don't care about you, the family. No, it's the question you're asking does not break the amount of give a damn that I have about this topic.
Mm-hmm.
It's like if she's like, "What do you want for dinner?" The real answer is, I don't give a damn. Right? Years in the military. Did you pick what you had for dinner?
The Air Force, yes.
Okay. No.
Bad example.
I walked into that one. But the point is like,
We had like an omelet bar. We had a breakfast bar.
you're so terrible. No, but I mean, like, I told her, I'm like, here's what's really funny. Like, we'll get into this debate sometime. Like, I'll be telling her, I'm like, oh, she's like, "What do you want for dinner?" And as a joke, I throw out the thing that I know she hates. I'm like, "Oh, I really was thinking some sausage and sauerkraut." My wife despises the smell of sauerkraut like me hating on yogurt. If I even smell it, I start gagging. If she smells it, she's like, "Please go outside." Like, she just despises it. So she's like, "Why do you always pick that?" I'm like, "Because you're asking me what I want. It's one of my favorite meals. I love sauerkraut. It's one of my
Yeah, it's
favorite meals, right? But I don't eat it all the time. Why?
You're married?
No. Because my wife hates it,
Yeah.
right? I'm not going to
That's what
intentionally.
I said.
Well, yeah. I'm not going to intentionally pick it because I know my wife hates it, right? My wife likes yogurt. She does not eat yogurt all the time. Why? Because she's married. Because she hates it, right? So when I tell her all the time, she's like, "Oh, I just want you to pick for whatever we're going to have for dinner." I don't care. You pick. She's like, "Oh, I wish you would just pick." So you know what my new favorite game is? You're going to love this. You're going to do this. You can either edit this out.
Donut.
What?
Donut.
Don't tell your wife. You can edit this out if you don't want to, if you don't want her to know. But you're going to be able to play the greatest mind game ever. Hop in the car with your wife and you say, repeat after me. "Hey, honey,
Hey, honey.
I picked where we're going for dinner.
Okay. I picked where we're going for dinner.
I bet you can't guess where."
Bet you can't guess
And she's going to be like, "What?" You'd be like, "Yeah, I already picked where we're having for dinner. I bet you can't guess."
where. Mm-hmm.
And you know what's so funny? The strangest thing happens. I did this to my
You're
wife.
giving away your tactics. Just
You know what she does?
What?
She gets this like sinister smile. She's like, "Where did you pick?" She gets like excited about it. I'm dead serious, dude. No, I've done this like 3 times. She hasn't caught on yet.
she won't know.
No. She won't listen to this. She doesn't give 2 craps about my like podcast thing. Her exact thing is great. I get to go play video games while you're talking to your friends, and I'll be like, "What do you think?" She's like, "Did you pick?" And then she'll start naming places. Okay, then you just pick.
Yes,
where you,
I did.
No, then you just pick where you want to go. Because I don't really care, but you and I both know if I say Taco Bell, what is she gonna say?
I had Taco Bell the other day. I don't want Taco Bell.
If I say, "Oh, what about Brahms?" What is she gonna say, Tyler? Not feeling it.
I'm lactose
Again.
intolerant. Don't you
Yeah,
ever
yeah.
listen?
Hey,
Oh,
what do you
no.
think? What do you think about Whataburger, Jones? That sound good?
To me, it sounds amazing.
No. Like if your wife, if you've told your wife, like, let's go to Whataburger, what's she gonna say?
I don't want Whataburger.
And then you can be like, well, you pick, and what's she gonna say, Tyler? What's she gonna say? You say, well, honey, I don't care. You
You're
pick.
asking a very uninformed person here.
Okay, well, we're teaching you. So when you ask your wife, you're like, this, and she's going to say, no. What about this? She's going to say, oh, not today. Oh, what do you think about this? Oh, I had that yesterday. And she's going to say, I don't care, honey. You pick.
She's not gonna like me.
She'll like you eventually. So here's what I do. I say, honey,
I've been married for 20 years. I'm not sure she likes me still.
I picked what we're having for dinner tonight, and I bet you can't guess. And then she'll start picking. And when she says Taco Bell, you can think in your head, like, sound good? No, not tonight. No. And she'll be like, oh, did you pick Brahms? And you'd be like, I could go for that country chicken strip basket and a milkshake. You're like, I did pick Brahms. How did you know? And she's like, I knew it. You're like, God,
Like,
you got me.
You're so good at this game.
You're
babe.
so good at this. And it's so funny. It's because I do think like with my wife, like she doesn't care, but she wants me to care. And so my whole thing is like, it's
You know you did
marriage.
good because they do this.
They do.
They do this like this little,
They
this
got
little
the
clap.
little happy dance.
Oh my God, it's the best thing ever. And it's so funny because like they don't want to win. They don't want to be in charge. You're 100% right. You said that. Like they want a leader. They want someone to like take the lead. But my God, if I ever told my wife like I'm putting my foot down and we're having Brahms for dinner, you know what she'd say? Even if that was exactly what she was thinking 5 minutes before that, she'd be like, "No, we're not." Like why? Because.
She won't give you a reason.
No, there is no reason.
Yeah.
The reason is because you told me I had to have Brahms. I'm gonna catch that facial expression.
No.
Cut.
And I tease my wife all the time.
Here's-
I'm
here's
like,
the thing.
one of these
Here's the
days,
thing.
I'm gonna put my foot down, and you're gonna be like, I'm not sure I like this, and I'm gonna be like, I don't care.
No, listen. You put your foot down. You won't be eating dinner where you want, but you will be having another child in 9 months. I'm just saying.
Izzy won't.
Busy won't. Well, I won't either. But
I will not. But I 100% can at least attribute one of mine to that. 100%.
You sure as crap try.
the makeup sex is a real thing.
Oh, 100%.
I'm just saying.
And yeah. How would you say? It's not about picking where you want for dinner, but it is 100% in taking charge on whatever the argument was about. My wife is always like, she's like,
It is all pick of what you eat.
oh no, you can cut this out. I don't care.
Yeah, okay.
My wife 100%, 100%. She's always like, why won't you ever let me win an argument? You want to know my answer? Because it's not worth giving up the makeup sex over. 100%. And she's like, what? But I will never tell her that. I will never go into that with her. I'm like, why won't I ever let you win an argument?
Can you clip this and just email it to her?
I might.
She knows. She knows. I'm 100%. No, I'm not. I'm.
Here's the thing. They know as much as we do.
Yeah.
They know as much as we do.
God, I would be mortified to know what my wife and her sister talk about on a regular basis. We were joking about this the other day because I was teasing her and I was like, what do you have to complain about? You're married to me, right? And she's like, plenty. Like that was her response.
Planning.
Wait, yeah.
What was this, a 1940 sitcom?
Well, and I get it. I always tease her. I'm like, hey, if you have nothing to complain about, are you really married? And she's like, I don't know what you mean. I was like, 100%. Let me put it this way. How many siblings do you have?
Oh shoot. 2, 3, 4, 5.
5 siblings. So there's 6 of you.
You don't know by now?
There's a lot of them.
There's a lot of them. Right, 6. Right. So there's 6 total.
Yeah.
Okay. So there's 6 of you. Okay. I was telling my wife, I'm like, do you get along with all your siblings? Is there some you just want to like smack every time you see them? I'm sure. Right.
Did you know I have a sister?
Really? How old's your sister?
I don't know.
Older, young? I don't know. Is she older or younger?
She's younger.
She's younger.
Yeah.
Really? So she's got to be like closer to our age because you're 41. How much younger? What year is she? How do you not know your sister's birthday?
Because of the reason you just said.
Because you can't stand your sister.
Exactly.
Really?
No. In case, no. I love my sister. I just
You're in charge of editing. You don't get to say you love your sister just so you can edit this later.
Oh,
It's
that's
gonna be
right.
like it's gonna be a 3-minute video of him like, I love my sister. I love my sister.
I mean, to
Like,
be fair, I know my sister's birthdays because it's the same birthday. So
you and your sister are born on the same day.
both my sisters, triplet.
Okay, that's cheating. That's not the
yeah,
same.
it's too easy. I don't hate
Wait. You said both my sisters triplet. You're a triplet.
Yes.
What?
What?
Yeah, I have 2 sisters. Same birthday.
How have we been friends and I did not know this?
I brought this up, and
No, you have not.
Yes, I know. I
I have been at your house for countless parties and get-togethers and everything else. I guarantee you, if I texted Tim right now and I said, "Did you know?"
You were at one of them. One of my sisters was at.
No, I didn't.
Yes.
If I put this in the beer chat right now and it's our group,
Tim will know.
I need to add him to
Tim
the beer
knows.
chat.
Why? I don't have a beard.
Beer.
I'm in your beard chat.
Cheers. You are?
Yeah, I just don't ever talk.
He's
Oh,
a
you're
lurker.
lame. He's a lurker.
I'm a lark.
If I put it in the beer chat right now, who knew that Tyler was a triplet? And I'm going to put vote. I'm going to do it as a poll.
I know for a fact Luther and Tim will say me.
I doubt it. No giving it away. We're going to do this later. I'm going to find out.
Okay.
6.
Yeah.
No, that's too big of a family, man. I can't imagine being a triplet. Do you guys like have like premonitions? Like if you stub your toe, does your sister call to ask if you're okay?
No.
That's lame. Well, it's really funny. It's like kind of also going back to that. I will say that going back to my wife looking out for me, and I do feel like I agree with you, as you have said before. Like we can't necessarily be our vulnerable self. But I will say one thing. I have noticed that with my wife, like if I'm overdoing it in anything, whether that's pushing myself too hard at work or judging myself too hard as a father or whatever it is, I will say I feel like my wife is kind of my like Jiminy Cricket in that respect. But I'm like, last week I've worked.
How does she know when you're doing that?
I
I judge myself too harshly as a father all the time. But
I do too. No, I do too. But like, she'll come to me and she's like, because I'll say something like, "Hey, next week whatever." I've worked 23 of the last 24 days straight for my job, and voluntary. I'm not going to say like my job works me to the bone. I have volunteered for that, and it's because I want to show myself as being valuable. I want to progress, right? Protector, provider. I want to provide more. That means you have to make yourself more attractive. Like I jokingly say that if you're an employee, you're a lure in a big fish of bass. Your whole goal is to make yourself the shiny, attractive thing that gets grabbed first, right? So, but this week it's my week before I go on vacation. This week my job has been like, "Oh guys, we have a whole bunch more OT, whole bunch more overtime, including tonight. I could have worked overtime," and I said no. And it was really funny because at first I wanted to say yes. And when I got the email, I read it out loud. I was like, "Oh, hey, I got this email. They want me a whole bunch of overtime this week." And my wife said, "No." And I was like, "Why?" I mean, we X, Y, Z. I'm going through all of my rationales. And she said, "No." And this is where, as much grief as we give them, as much hard time as we give them, the answer is, she's like, "You've done enough." So I will give my wife some credit where credit is 100% due. They do look out for us.
yeah,
I will say that
I don't disagree.
They are our harshest critic and our greatest cheerleader all at the same time.
Yeah.
As long as you're not the quarterback that's holding his knee and crying about it, and then they're going to drop you.
But it's good that you believe it. That's what matters. Because I'm just thinking of my own faults, like because my wife could tell me I do enough, and I don't believe it. Just because
I don't believe her
'cause
either.
I don't
But when I
feel like I've
hear
done
her
enough.
say it, is I feel like it's okay that I'm okay.
Well, it's like we created this podcast, and I told my wife about it,
Yeah.
and she's like, because we were talking about like
My
ads and
wife's like,
things.
I'm so proud of you that you did your first episode. And I
Yeah.
said, yeah, but we're not done. And she's like, yeah, but you've already done your first episode. And I told her, I'm like, no offense, but that's not enough. And she's like, what do you mean? I was like, I'm glad we did our first episode. Be happy when I do my 100.
Yeah.
And she's like, that's a long ways away. I'm like, no, it's not. What are you talking about?
Yeah.
I'm like, that's 2 years. She's like, 2 years? I'm like, do you respond that way when I say we've been married for 7? Like, I'm like, 7
For how long
years?
you worked at your job?
Right.
This isn't going anywhere.
Well, that's what I tell her. I'm like, I'm not saying don't be happy for me. Celebrate the little victories.
Yeah, of course,
Yay,
yeah.
we've got 2 episodes, whatever. But don't be like, yay, 1 episode. I'm so proud. Don't be proud.
No.
1 episode. The next answer is,
You know how many-
who's next week?
Do you know how many podcasts you created 1 episode?
Probably 90% of them.
Yeah. That
Yeah.
doesn't mean anything.
No, 100%.
2 episodes. If you create 2 episodes, you've done twice as good as most podcasts. Just right off the
Really?
bat.
Boom.
I mean, don't look at me like I'm giving you statistics. I'm just saying.
High five. We already made it top of the charts.
No, consistency is everything
Right.
in life, in podcasting.
In anything.
If you went to the gym, your wife would be like, "Oh, good job, you worked out."
Oh, I hate it when she does that.
Like,
I come
no.
home, she's like, "Oh, you worked so hard today, and then you went to the gym. I'm so proud of you." I'm like,
Yeah,
no.
be
Stop.
proud of me for going for a year consistently. Be proud of
Yeah.
me for going for 2 years consistently. Same thing with this.
That's so true though, because like if I go on a diet or something, and I'm like, "Oh, I'm gonna really try to watch what I eat this week." She does. She's like a cheerleader on the sidelines the next day. Oh, I see that you switched to diet soda. I'm so proud. I'm like, it's the last thing in the fridge. Like, yeah, like,
I drink this because I have to.
I drank this because you only bought this. Like, I mean, that's cool. I don't really care, but
It goes back to that stoicism we were talking about.
yeah,
It's easy when and they mean well, but when you're a friend or your wife, or whatever, like, oh, good job drinking diet soda. It's like,
no.
you have to know what your goal is and work towards it. Like, we know what our goals are for this podcast.
There is a
and we've
deep
talked about it.
internal goal that you don't tell anybody about too.
Of course.
Like that's
But it's easy to say. It's easy when someone says, "Good job, you made your first podcast episode." To say, "Oh, thank God, I made my first." And she's like, "Well, I don't have to make anything this week because I did really good last week.
right.
I don't have to work out this week because I worked out last week."
You know, it's so funny because you're right, because we don't apply that to anything else in our life. It's like, oh, hey, this week I went to work. Next week I can take off.
Yeah, I mean, you can. It just won't go.
Right?
Don't go back
But
the week
that's what I'm
after.
saying. You don't apply that to anything. You're like, oh, this week I made a paycheck. Next week I can take completely off. No.
Yeah.
Like, but all of a sudden in a relationship, it's like, oh, you did a good job. Why don't you sit down, put your feet up? No. I'd rather not.
There's no rest.
We get to listen to the loud motorcycle in the background.
You jealous?
No.
But
I
there's
see some tears welling up.
I do miss writing all the time. I would love to get back into writing, but I have other financial obligations that have taken the precipice over, like, getting the motorcycle
Like a
back
drink
up.
package.
Did I ever tell you I lost my
This is true.
best friend to motorcycle?
I did not know that.
Yeah.
Wrong
I don't
camera.
know anybody, and I'm telling you this because I consider you a very, very close friend. I don't know anybody in my life who has not rode a motorcycle, sparing my father-in-law, that has not had a serious accident on a motorcycle. And when I say I lost my best friend, he's still alive.
Right.
He's still alive. He's not my best friend anymore. We
This has
grew up.
changed.
We grew up. Hold on a second. Excuse me. We met in middle school, and we were like brothers. Middle school, high school. We joined the Air Force at the same time.
No joke.
Got out about different times, right? When he went in, he picked up a really bad pot habit, which I'm not criticizing anyone who smokes.
No,
Like
hey.
I don't. That's fine.
Smoke it
But-
if you got it, man.
But he also rode a motorcycle.
Yeah.
And he got on I-35, and had his second big brain injury.
Oh God.
He had one in high school, and he was fine after that. But they say
Like football concussion
no,
injury.
it was like a car accident.
Oh wow!
But the
Oh,
thing about brain injuries that they don't tell you is when you have one,
absolutely,
you're more susceptible to
for
another
next
one.
That's why why they don't address concussions in high school. Why it's so dangerous?
Yeah.
It's because that concussion can kill you later in college.
But he was a different person after that.
Really?
He was a different person, and I
I
had to
knew
make
some
the
guys in the
decision.
military that had like TBI, and they were not the same. It's not they were not the same. They were not the same person.
Yeah.
And I did not. I've never experienced that before. That's a real thing.
But I had to make a decision as a young man in a relationship with my then girlfriend, but now my wife.
Right.
Is this guy okay to be around?
Wow.
And I had to cut him loose. And the thing is, like he's still around. He's still around here in Hill County. And in fact, my dad made contact with him recently because he knows my family. We were all one big family.
That's crazy.
And the thing is, he's still where we were when I was in high school.
Wow.
I'm not there anymore.
Yeah.
I cannot.
Is that kind of from that like broke
brain injury.
mindset?
Yeah. I cannot associate myself with those people. And it's not from being a
Yeah.
jerk. You are the sum of the people you surround yourself with.
100%.
And if I bring this guy back in my circle, I'm
That's
not
why
going
I
to lift
only
him up.
hang out with Tyler on the weekends.
I'm not going to lift him up.
It's a poor choice of friend.
Yeah. he's gonna bring me down.
No, 100%. 100%. Do you feel like it's like from his injury itself that's like brought him to that level, or just has he become like the victim mindset of that's what I've become because of I'm the sum of my injuries?
Yeah.
You think so? So like with me, you and I have talked about this
He
before.
explained to me.
Yeah.
He told me after his accident that the devil did it to him. The
Oh,
devil
really?
did it to him. Never mind that you're probably high and you're riding a very dangerous vehicle on a very dangerous interstate.
For the record, when I ride my motorcycle, when I say I own a motorcycle, yes, I own one. Yes, I ride one. I enjoy riding my motorcycle. You and I know we live in a very small town. I ride from my house to Ace Hardware when I need to buy like a drill bit.
Yeah.
I don't leave town. I do agree it's dangerous. I worked in an ambulance. I worked in an ER. Plenty of horrible outcomes that I have personally witnessed from a motorcycle. I know they're dangerous. But that's when I say, like, I have a motorcycle. It's like, oh, I want to run downtown to have a cigar at the smoke shop.
But it's a total victim mindset.
I do agree
And-
with that.
And I cannot associate myself with that.
Oh, 100%.
And it's not me being a jerk. It's as you grow as a person, you will realize and look, this was over 10 years ago. And looking in the fact that he's trying to reassociate with my family, and he's still the same guy he was 10 years ago. It tells me like I made the right decision. I cannot bring that back into my life.
Do you think that there's a part of you that could, like, I'm not going to say, like, what, not survivor complex or whatever, like, a savior complex? Like, is there a part of you that thinks, like, well, maybe I could have a positive influence?
No.
I've always called it the Christian complex, right? Like, there are people that I grew up around that are different today than they were when I grew up around them. And I think of myself as like, man, I feel like if I associated with them or hung out with them now, maybe I could change them.
No.
I've always wondered about that. Like, I feel
can
bad.
I be a jerk about it? I have no interest in that.
Well,
Yeah, it's not-
no, I don't think you're a
It's not your
jerk.
job to put in the time and
It's not my
I was
responsibility.
going to say that. I don't think you're a jerk. I don't want you to think that I think you're a jerk. You're not a jerk for saying I
I
don't
don't
have
worry about
time
you. I
for
was
that.
more worried about the listeners. I know you don't think I'm a jerk.
No, I
It's
think
not my responsibility to fix a grown man.
that's what I mean. That's what I mean. I don't think you're a jerk for saying that. It's not your job. And on top of that, I think it's not our responsibility as a guy to try to make another person a guy or to make another person. I believe in free will. I think you should be able to be whoever you want to be, whether that's
I mean, can we be
whatever
honest
it
here?
is.
Do I have dreams about my best friend, who, in all intents and purposes, has been not with us for 10 years?
Yeah.
Yeah, of course.
Of course. Yeah.
He was
you
like
want,
a brother.
You want him to go back to what he was.
No, I don't want to go back to what he
No,
was.
no, to when he was your best friend.
Yeah,
That's what
If
I'm
he-
saying.
If he could have grown,
Yeah. Well, yeah, that's what I'm saying.
but that's not the reality.
No.
That's not the reality. And I think we're gonna have two different listeners. You're gonna have people that totally relate and understand what I'm talking about. And then you're gonna have another group that thinks this is callous of me.
No, I don't think. I don't think
No,
anybody's.
this
I
is
do
what
not
the
think that
reality will
anybody's
be.
going to look at you and look at callous. You
It's
and I
the
have
reality.
you and I have talked about like my upbringing. Like I grew up in a very, very small religion. There is, which I don't even mind saying.
Those are called cults, by the way.
Well, I'm not going to go so far as to say I was in a cult. I think some listeners would probably agree with you. I don't even mind saying it. You don't have to edit this out. I was raised Jehovah's Witness for the first 20, let's say 23 years of my life. I'm going to round a number there. 22, 21. Okay. So like the group of people that I grew up with is very small. Okay. But very close. Right? If you grow up in that kind of a religious organization, religious group, very, very small. I am blessed that I have several friends, not many, but I have several friends that I grew up with that I'm still friends with today. Very few. You know me, I know everybody. Imagine the first 23 years of my life, how many people I know. Of all of those people, three people. I mean, hell, you and I, like we were talking about, you and I, our beer drinking group is bigger than
Yeah.
all of the friends I have from my entire childhood combined.
Wow. How many people are in that group?
Quite a few.
A bunch that some of them are even active. They post stuff instead of just ignore us.
Quite a few people are actually not that active anymore.
I post stuff all the time. We also have a separate.
Skip posts more things than some people.
We also have a separate.
21.
Yeah. We also have a separate chat that's basically for us. Well, it was originally for a bunch of us that were going to the gym together, and then
But
we
then
stopped going.
Brandon left me.
Then Brandon left us, so we stopped going to the gym
He
together.
broke up with me.
Which Brandon?
The Brandon,
School
the Brandon we know, school Brandon. And
I'm
then,
so disappointed.
and then from there, it turned into like but the four of us are still kind of dancing around doing the carnivore diet. So like, we'll hang out and do the carnivore diet together. And then that kind of trended. So now it's just basically us annoying the crap out of whichever person isn't at their phone today with like 75 missed messages.
Usually Brandon.
It's so true. He will appear from time to time.
You
and
know
be
what's
like,
funny
will
is
not
I remember
talk to
sitting
us.
with him, and he'd be like, "Oh, this freaking chat." Like,
Oh yeah, no, I'm sure he does. I'm sure he does. I'm guessing. I'm gonna look right now. I'm guessing I have at least a missed message from it in the amount of time.
I doubt it because
Nope,
I'm right
I
here.
do.
What?
all
do.
I have is missed
do.
messages. I never respond to any of them.
You know who our favorite person?
Tim.
Yep, he has posted one while we were sitting here.
2 actually. He wanted to know if they fixed the lockers.
Oh, there's Skip too. Skip needs to be one on our show too.
Oh yeah, Skip would be great.
The conversation we were
100%.
having earlier could have been like that the whole time.
Oh yeah.
Are
He
you
would've
talking
told you
about the
everything about it.
yogurt?
No, the esoteric stuff, the hermeticism.
Yogurt. You should ask.
You know what? Skip could probably talk about yogurt for 2 hours if you got
Skip would be like, you might not know this, but I was actually friends with the guy that invented yogurt when I was in college. You know what's great? Like, we're gonna talk up Skip on this.